Hi, Jamie.
Good evening.
Welcome to Spurs. Good evening to all in Asia. Welcome to Spursvision TV. Good afternoon to all in Europe, and of course, good morning to all in Americas. All right. So this is our sixth episode, and of course, today is actually for us is in the morning, right? It's going to be the big match between England and Italy. So we got a few guests waiting behind, and they'll be joining us soon. And let's bring them in, shall we? Anything to say, Jamie?
All I can say is, from all the stuff online, it seems as if Europe is turning against us, but we shall
It's always
stand
like that.
resolute. And whatever the result, come on, England! I have to go black screen for a minute because I've just realised my work stuff's behind me. So,
All right, no problem. I will bring the
okay.
guests in while you settle your things behind them. All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Okay, welcome the guests. Hi guys, welcome back. How are you guys?
How you doing? Eugene? How you doing?
Everybody
Shane?
Hi,
Brad.
Nice to meet all of you.
Okay, Jamie has got to do some things for a while. He'll be back soon. And we have Brad Matthews here. Mr. Brad Matthews is actually in England himself.
Yeah.
And he's here to tell us the experience that he's having now, the build-up, the suspense. And you're not going to the stadium, right?
No, I'm not. So I sort of regretted not trying to get tickets when they all went on sale. But I think when they went on sale, it was during the lockdown and COVID, and no one really knew what's happening. And there are all sorts of tests and stuff happening. And I thought, oh, you know what, I won't. And now I'm sort of beginning to regret that. But, never mind. That's life, I guess.
So where are you planning to watch it?
Well, initially, I went to the quarter-final to the We Are Tottenham TV live stream. That's in North Wembley. That was actually really good. The semi-final was on a weeknight, so it was difficult to get there after. I'm still working from home, but to get there after working from home was still difficult. And then the final, I actually had tickets. A friend of mine, he's basically having it around his house, and he invited me around there. And he's got his family with him. I know his family, and I actually sort of saw some scenes from the semi-final at the We Are Tottenham TV, and it looked like it was amazing. But I thought, you know what? I think I'll it's a long way to go. It's on a weeknight. It's on a Sunday. If the game goes to whatever penalties, and I've got to get home, I'm working tomorrow, and I can't even have tomorrow off because of my colleague at work's on holidays in Jamaica, so I've got to support him. I've got to step in for him. So I decided to go around my friend. He only lives around the corner. I get a taxi home. I'll just take some beers around there, and that should be fun. Should be fun.
That should be fun. Yeah. Okay. And Shane, how's the feeling in Australia? Are you an England fan or an Italy fan?
I'm actually backing Italy to win 2-1. I'd love to see Harry lift the cup. Harry Kane lift the cup, but I think in Italy will be too strong, and 2-1 or 3-1 will be the end score.
Okay, Sanskar, you England or Italy?
Well, I've been supporting England. I'm gonna support England. I'm hopeful. I think Southgate, he's beaten the odds, and everyone has underestimated him throughout the tournament, but he's come up on top each and every time, and even against the most challenging one, which is Germany. So I'm backing Southgate to get the tactics right, not do too many mistakes. He won't overthink it, and he's gonna do it right.
So just say hello to Gogoma. She's from South Korea. Thanks for being on the show. Yeah, right. How's everything in South Korea? Got to ask Guguma whether she's an England or Italy supporter. Guguma. Let's see what reaction we get from her later. Excited for final two. Hope and stay awake for it. Yeah. So for us in Asia, the match is going to be at 3 a.m. Right, and I guess Shane is even earlier, 5 a.m. Yeah. Shane's at 5 a.m. Yeah.
I might get some sleep beforehand.
Yeah, take a nap. Me too.
I'll get a couple hours.
Yeah. You working tomorrow?
Sorry, guys. I had my work background on. I can't show that because it's a different company.
Google must say it's hot here. Right, it's hot. Yeah.
It's cold here, so.
Where are you in Australia, Shane? Where are you in Australia, Shane?
I'm in Brisbane.
Oh, okay.
Brisbane, Queensland. So.
Quite
I don't know.
humid, isn't it? Oh, it's cold, isn't it? It's winter, of course, to get that. Yeah.
It's winter at the moment. It's saying 12 degrees and clear here at the moment.
Here it's 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
We've got 21. We got 21 Celsius here, so it's not too bad.
I was gonna say 12 degrees and clear. That sounds a bit like England, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a bit of summer.
The perfect English summer's day is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit with a gentle breeze and a little bit of cloud cover.
The big problem with England is that when it is, it's awful because there's no air conditioning. You know, they don't have air conditioning in pubs and houses, and you just can't get away. It's I imagine Brisbane's humid. London, or certainly England's humid as well, so you can't get away from it.
It's not humid, it's muggy.
Muggy, okay. Muggy, okay. Just to say hello to Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Thanks for support again. He's always supporting us through all the streams.
I've just had a thought, though. I've just had a thought. Do you think it's a sign that my dinner tonight was pizza?
You didn't know about the pineapple on the pizza debacle thing, right?
No, I heard about that, but no, mine was a classic margarita.
And tuna.
Okay, good. Yeah, and tuna. Okay, Guguma is supporting England. Big up to Guguma, right? And okay, how you say? Before we go in depth into the England match, let's go back to Spurs for a while. What do you think has been happening with our players, transfers, the in and outs, right? But I've been seeing the training sessions that's been happening, right? And hold on for a while. I got one more friend to introduce. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello, Brian.
I was telling Brad, and we can't do it now, but I thought of a song for you, and it's done by The Jam. But I'm not going to express any more because I don't know how much I say before we get a copyright strike. So.
Yeah.
Let's say that the London Tube network is very good.
Yeah. and you'd be going there, sending letters to your favourite person.
I know of a particular London Underground song, which is not exactly worthy of being said live on air. It's got a lot of rude words in and everything. Let's say that. Shane, how are you, my friend?
I am good, Brian. Nice to finally meet you.
Do you know what? The feeling is exactly the same. I literally saw that. I always tune in when I just wake up here in Canada. It's like 8 a.m. here, and I saw you were on. I saw Brad was on, obviously, and everyone, all your the other guests. And I was like, wait a minute, Shane's on. I have not actually. I spoke to Shane via message. I was like, I have to take this opportunity. So I had to come on and say hello, Shane. You good, buddy?
Yeah, it's really good here in Brisbane, Queensland.
We're actually global now, aren't we? Because we've got Canada, India, Malaysia, England, and Australia, and Philippines.
Yeah,
we've got the whole world, apart from Russia.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I was saying when Brian stepped in, right? Since Nuno has taken over for the past 10 days or so. We've only seen some training sessions being put out by the Tottenham YouTube channel or something like that, but there's not much sounds or what I call information on the players in and outs, right? So, what do you think?
The three that have been told they can leave.
That's what we hear. They've been told they can leave, but will they ever leave? So who wants? Okay, why don't we give Sanskar a voice on this? What do you think, Sanskar? Since you're the youngest in the whole group here, right? Sanskar is only 19. So what do you think?
On the training sessions we've seen so far?
Training sessions, the transfers, the in and outs. Do you see anything going to happen?
Well, like, I'm actually, another reason I'm really waiting for the US to get over, because like right now we're just interested FC. We aren't, apart from Tomiyasu, we haven't made any significant progress anywhere. So like, I'm hoping that as soon as the Euros are done, I'm hoping that they're waiting for the Euros to be done, and then they start doing some business, and like quick business. Like, if we've been interested in Tomiyasu for what, like 2-3 weeks, and I saw Fabrizio posted today, we're the only serious club apart from Atlanta, and we're leading the race. So
we have to get it, like, and because of the Olympics. The
exactly.
Olympics
so like, we should nail him down, because like he is just a small aspect of what our plans should be for the summer. And that's why like we should get these deals, like relatively minor deals, done fast, and then quickly move on to restructure it before other clubs start moving. Because I'm sure like the City, United, Liverpool, Arsenal have already almost completed deals for 2 players, Nuno Tavares and Lokonga. So that's why I'm just waiting for us to complete our first signing and kick us off for the summer transfer window.
Yeah, Guguma is laughing. Interested FC. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. We're always interested, and we're always interested in mostly everybody. And what do you think, Brad? You have the same feelings.
Yeah. From what I'm reading and hearing about Paratici is that he basically throws the net far and wide, looks at loads and loads of players at the same time, and then eventually goes for one. And he's a 24/7 whatever workaholic, blah 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 blah. The Tomiyasu one's interesting because it just seems like the same old Spurs stuff. You know, they want a certain amount of money. Oh no, we're not going to pay that money. You know, and then we inch it up a bit. And it's, you know, I was saying this to Matt Hayes the other day, was that, hey, you know, a £3 million difference can be made up in food and drink sales in 2 or 3 games at the stadium. You know, it's why are we sort of I'm in an iron about a couple of £1 million. It's just. Yeah. I'm hoping that Levy's not got his nose in it, but I'm sure he has. It's just this brinkmanship, and the other teams, they know that now. They know it's brinkmanship, you know, and this is just so annoying. The other players, well, I guess we just have to go with what we're hearing that Paratici, whatever his name is looking at loads of different players, and you know, the Tomiyasu guy looks. I think if we do sign him. And that, to be honest, that's the only one that seems to be, you know, happening.
Realistic.
Yeah. If we do sign him, then I think you have him, hopefully an improved Doherty on the right-hand side. You've got Reguilon and Sessegnon. You've got quite a good squad of attacking wing-backs there. And I think that's a good sort of base to, if he wants to base his team on our strengths, then you play the 3 at the back and you have the wing-backs. But then you've got to get the decent centre-backs, in which at the moment we haven't got 3 decent centre-backs. Maybe 1, maybe 2, and then one of those is probably going to leave anyway. So it's the usual Tottenham season. I mean, I wonder if other clubs have this, but it's the usual Tottenham season. You know, Interested FC, that sums it up perfectly. You know, tracking players. We've been tracking Sabitzer for about 30 years now, you know. It's just like,
and he's only 28.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Spurs are tracking. They're interested, and you know, it's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Shane?
It's Levy at his best. You know, just pay the $2 million, dude. Come on, it's $2 million apart, and you can't get $2 million out of food and drink sales. As for Paratici, I got it's Paratici. As Brad said, he looks at 10 different players for that one spot, then he decides on which player he should go for and then he goes for it. Why hasn't he gone for it? Is it because Levy's sitting over his shoulder going, oh no, he'll cost too much, or you know, he's 50 mil, we could get this one for 30 mil, you know, with Tomiyasu, pay him money, get him in, get him through the door, get him training. With the Olympics being on, if you know, what players are we going to lose to the Olympics? And you know, there's a state of emergency in Tokyo.
Yeah, true.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah, everything's no fans. Yeah,
no fans.
And, you know, and I think the people in Japan are not supporting the Olympics at the moment. They don't want it to happen, but somehow or another the government is pushing it through, you see. And of course, I'll leave the last to Mr. Brian Daigle. So what do you think? Because he's going to go on and give it a good
do you know what?
I love a good Brian Daigle rant.
So you're going to have one up close. So first of all, we've got to look. I'm going to dissect this into little pieces. So first of all, when we signed Jose Mourinho last season, did you see we didn't haggle over one price? Every price was made. It was like, this is the price. There was no, oh, we're haggling over this, we're haggling over that. And I've said it on the two brides and Tottenham away. I'm convinced that Jose said, listen, I know what you do. You're not giving me the money. I find a player. It's in the budget. You get him. And I'm sure that happened. So obviously it started to happen straight away. Paratici, that word, Shane, really is quite hard. He should change his name to something more UK based. Paratici.
Let's call him Doff.
That's not about it. But then I keep thinking I'm doing EastEnders with the Doffs. But then, so then you look at Paratici and Levy said in that meeting, in that video, that Paratici is going to have all footballing concerns tied up. He's dealing with it. Paratici would have paid the $2 million. He wouldn't have gone, okay, let me haggle, let me do this, It stinks of a certain person once again.
He needs to tie up Levy.
Who just cannot keep his nose out of anything. He really, like I said, I will teach everyone to speak perfect Levy. Basically, the words that come out of his mouth, you do the opposite, because that's all he does. That's all you've got to do. I don't get it. I mean, Tomiyasu, like Brad and Shay said, it's now is the time we can get him. It's not about the Euros. He's Japanese.
Yeah.
His concern is the Olympics.
So we call him Daniel-san.
So it's like, just get the deal done before a major event for Japan comes up. So we have him. You need to get him in. I know you can have the fitness test wherever you can now. It's all done. They can get a doctor out there officially for Tottenham and then whatever. And like I said, Arsenal have started signing. We all know that Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, when they need to buy players, they're going to go there because they will get guaranteed Champions League football. Chelsea are Champions League holders. We are in a moment in time right now where I've never known it as a Spurs fan, and Brad and Shane will verify as well. The state of the club at the moment, all right, with good financial footing, apparently, but the actual footballing side of it, I've never known us to be so bad.
It's terrible.
Just for the lack of investment, and like Brad rightly said, right now, as we know from Nuno, he plays wing backs. So we need decent, reliable, attacking wing backs, and we've got one, Reguilon, who was awful last season, but in a wing back, I think he'll be absolutely sensational. And what we saw at the beginning.
Wasn't Doherty a wing back in the Wolves?
No, that's what I'm saying. I was about to come to Doherty. Doherty, if we go right back, will get his foot. It's about getting his forward confidence back, and the one man that will be able to do that is Nuno, for obvious reasons. But we were very, very, very successful under Poch when we had the 4 quality wing backs he trusted.
Yeah.
And that he could use, and he rotated them regularly so they stayed fit. It was very important to him. And you would imagine that is what Nuno would want to do.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if this is the style of football he plays, these people are a key element. And when you're haggling over $2 million, it's like, when we go to buy a house, or anyone that's not in a football bubble and not a celebrity goes to buy a house or whatever, or a car, you have the asking price and you try and haggle a bit. You always try and haggle a bit, but then obviously if you really want it and it's within your price range, you're going to go, do you know what, taken. We're talking about footballers here, and we're owned, and we're a rich club. Just pay the goddamn money this season more than anything, because I'll tell you what, if we get to the first game of the season or the transfer window shuts, and we haven't had, I don't say a world class window, but a successful, that Nuno gets some players that he wants that definitely fit the style of football he wants to play in the formation. Come the Man City game, and definitely come the NFL protest, it's going to be like Armageddon at Tottenham. It really is. It's just
that's true.
It's just ridiculous.
Hope it is.
Trust me, Shane. I'm going back to the NFL protest, and believe me, it will be Armageddon.
Can I just make a point here? You know what you're saying, Brian, about buying a house is that when you're buying a house, that's one person or two people who've got two jobs or whatever. And 1 million is quite a lot of money to make up. We're talking about a big corporation here, big football club. And so 2 million to them is nothing. It's crazy. It's
2 million is back of the sofa money.
Exactly.
To a corporation.
It's crazy. You're right. I mean, even if we do get players, if we get them right at the end of the window, then you still got to bed them in. So it still could be 5, 6, 7, 8 games before they're playing.
I heard a remark on TalkSport that was saying that we're supposedly we have money, but just because Mr. Lewis has a big amount of cash doesn't mean he's going to put his hand in his pocket. No. I think it's a bit of a fallacy saying, "Oh, Joe Lewis has got all this money," because he obviously doesn't want to give it to Spurs. It's obvious.
He never has, does he? Yeah. They have never invested any of their own money anyway.
Exactly.
So there's always been the club's money, and actually the club's money belongs to the fans. If the fans don't give you the money, where's the money coming from? It's going to drop off from the sky, right?
Yeah.
So okay, just to let Sanskar know. Sanskar, I just muted you because you have a feedback. Can you hear that? Yeah, there's some feedback from your side.
Now?
Yeah.
It might be. Have you got a fan on?
Yeah, I've got a fan on. That might be it.
Maybe. But okay, Sanskar, I will have to. It's better now. Yeah, it's a bit better now. Yeah. All right. Okay. Since everybody more or less has gotten their view on the transfers and what's Nuno doing, but I think Nuno will have some kind of fitness regime for them to test them how fit they are, and he will find out which players is at which level, and I guess he will work on that. And of course, the club has come out to say that they want to get rid of 3 players or 4 players or 5 players, right? Whether it happens or not, that's for us to wait to see, correct? And in the end of the day, it's like Sanskar said, we are interested FC, and let's see it when the interest will turn into reality. That's all. And Jamie, have you any other things to say?
All I can say is if half the stuff that's been talked about happens, I think that Spurs will be a much more contented fan base, but it doesn't change the fact that overall long-term change needs to happen, and we go back to Mr. Daigle.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian? Long-term change.
Listen, I can't stress. I've been saying it enough, and I actually went. I tried it a different way on the Two Brides. I don't know if anyone saw it when we started talking about the protests. And this is the thing. What we've got to do, and why I'm going there, is it's very, very important for me to first of all go home and see my family. But I could go home straight away now because I've had my second vaccine, so I could go home. But I need to be there for the protest because it's so important to me, especially with the NFL being involved. Because the NFL over here, they are like that. You can't express how huge the NFL is. I mean, the Super Bowl is the most watched game, obviously, as we all know. But they do not take any negative feedback on their franchise well at all. They will not stand for it. They will be like, we've come here to help you out, build the game here, and this is what we're getting. They will come down on Daniel Levy and Tottenham hard. But what we've got to do, I said the protests we had the original ones on that Saturday where Bob Spur went down and everyone went down. They were a shambles. They were, and people were chanting "Old Mr. Sissoko" and the Daniel Levy "Dead" song, which I do not condone. As much as there are so many things I would love to personally do to him or say to him, that I don't condone or whatever. So it's not about. I'm going there because we need to be heard, and we need to. It's not going there having a few beers and talking about Moussa Sissoko or what. It's about stating the facts of all the lies. This man, you look at Manchester United, they're about to sign Jordan Sancho. They may get Varane. This is a team that they hate the Glazers. The fan base hates the Glazers, but the Glazers have been honest with them. We're coming. We're using your money to finance this. We're doing this. We're doing that. We're doing that. This is what we're doing. There's no smoke and mirrors. But I know you don't like us, but here's world-class players to try and boost the team to go where they go. We get told we'll have a manager before the end of the season. We'll have him 10 days. We all know what. I mean, I could go on and on about what this charlatan has done.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Exactly, and we've got to go there. I'm making a beeline for every single news outlet out there, whether it be Fox, CNN, whatever. I will get onto those channels, and what I'm going to be saying are the facts. This is what people have got. It's not about getting numbers together and all having a jolly up and then go, whoa, we hate Daniel Lee. This is like really, this is the moment that will define everything, because if we could I'm not trying to get the game postponed, the NFL, that's not, but if it gets delayed or if the NFL get a bad rap because of what Spurs are doing, I don't mean violence, I mean, it will say, because there's so many people that watch the NFL worldwide that do not watch football, that will be on those days, like you guys across the world are staying up to watch Tottenham England today, at whatever time, because it's a game you want to watch. But thankfully, it's only 3 p.m. for me because we're only 5 hours behind.
5 a.m.
Exactly, but there's people around the world that are going to be. There's people. Are you both staying up to watch it? Is everyone staying up to watch it on here? Apart from Brad, Brad's obviously.
I'll probably have a nap first.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I mean, people are going to be doing that for the NFL around the world, and they will be homing in on Tottenham. And this is the moment where we have to have something said. Hopefully Wayne will be there. I cannot wait to meet with Wayne Bonner, because Wayne is just such a superb supporter of all the channels, like Shane Brad, like everyone. And this is the time where the question was about long-term change. This is where we impact long-term change.
Yeah, we've got to bomb the the NFL websites, the NFL Twitter sites, just all these sort of places, because and get sort of something there as well. At the actual NFL game, if you had even someone unfurl a banner that says something, I mean, it'll be taken down within minutes. But if the cameras pick it up, then that goes worldwide, and and then they'll suddenly think, hang on a minute, what's going on here? Why are we being associated? What have we done wrong? Because the NFL don't think they've done anything wrong, So
the protest outside's got to be loud enough to be heard inside. There's going to be fans in the stadium making noise. The noise outside's got to be louder than the noise coming from within.
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, Shane, because the crowd, the stadium holds 50,000-60,000 people. So, and again, we sort of see the YouTube, and in a way, it is a bit of an echo chamber. So, it'd be interesting that first game to see what crowd reaction is with 60,000 people in the stadium to ENIC, and that it's going to be difficult as well, because you want to give Nuno and the team the support. But then you also want to make a statement to Levy and ENIC. So it's going to be interesting what the crowd reaction, and also the people that I'm season ticket holder, so the people that sit next to me presumably be the same people, and I'll be interested to talk to them to see what they think about it, and see just to gain what the whole supporter base is thinking. But if you look at Twitter and Facebook and whatever, there's an awful lot of anti-Levy, anti-ENIC statement there. So hopefully that is a good indication of the actual fan base as a whole.
So maybe we can give all our support to Nuno and the guys for the first part of the match, and a walkout after at some point in the second half.
See, Jamie, that's all well and good saying that, but what will happen is obviously the fans are going to get in for the first game of let's just pretend it's the first game of the season today. Everyone's happy it's the first game of the season. Obviously football's back. People who've got their season tickets or members or whoever get up and do their morning whatever to get to the game. They're already going to that game feeling that their feelings towards Levy or how's this going to go, and then unless Daniel Levy is sitting there when the stadium opens, so it's just out of the way, because you all know whenever he walks into the bloody stadium, they have to pan the camera on him like he's some kind of messiah, and like an artist on concert has just come in, and it's like, oh look, he's in the stadium, and the second the jumbotrons or whatever you want to call them go to him, that's when it changes.
Yeah,
that's where it and he has got such a big enough ego, and he's been going, oh, I did this because I didn't want the fans to be up. Nonsense. He does everything for effect, and he's got such a big ego. He'll walk in and it'll change.
It's interesting you say that, Brian, because another person who's got a reasonably big ego is a certain person by the name of Donald Trump. Now, I don't know if you saw it. He was at a baseball game. This is when he was still president. He was at a baseball game, and when he came up to do whatever he does, the whole stadium started booing, and the look on his face was priceless, because it was almost like, why are they booing? Why are they booing? They can't boo me. What's going on? And that, so that's so if you had that sort of situation, you might get that same effect, hopefully. And it's you sort of wonder what sort of bubble they're in, and sometimes if you have a massive ego, you don't know what people, or you don't take it seriously what people are thinking, So that's. But again, how many of the 60,000 people will do that? I think the booing's quite on the cards. If the walking out at half time, I don't think will happen. But certainly the booing, I think, could definitely happen. Yes.
66 minute.
Yeah, but I think if
66 minute.
62 minutes, they want to move it.
61st minute.
61st minute.
61st minute to walk out, because last year we won the league.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah. Or what do the Italians? Is it the Italians? They turn their back? Or was that South America?
So no, there's some people that turn their back. Now, Jake, who's a very good friend of mine here from Toronto Spurs, but when the Conte deal fell through, which we all knew it was, that's when we all started talking about, right, we need to do something. Like, obviously, I've been saying for years but this is, I think, when you look at it, there's always, in any walk of life, there's that straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, it was the Super League, was like, right, that's it. I see what people are saying, it's done. And then obviously we've had the manager debacle, and when the Conte one fell through, that again was the straw that broke more people's back. And it's just waiting to see. I mean, it's something I don't even understand how he can even I don't understand in the world he comes out after that Aston Villa game and says that speech that we've spent £250 million not wisely. I don't care who you are in any walk of life. If I went round to someone and said, "Oh, listen, I know you're a multi-millionaire or whatever, but I've just lost you 250 million. Goodbye. You're gone. You are there's no walk of life. You're gone. See ya. Bye bye.
No accountability. That's the
there
problem.
hasn't been for years.
There's for years. Yeah, and because I think he's part owner and he thinks he's a super fan himself, so that's all gone to his head. You see. Okay. He's part owner of ENIC, so part owner of the club. Yeah, so for my fear now is like this. You see, remember that there was a part of it that says that Levy didn't want Nuno, correct? There was a big hoo-ha there, but somehow or another Nuno was brought in due to certain conditions. And my biggest fear now, the condition is that, right? Levy said, okay, I'll give Nuno the job. I'll listen to Paratici and take your advice, but I am giving you a condition. You must try to revive the players that we have before you can do anything. That is my biggest fear now.
Feasible.
Yeah, and that is why Nuno got the job.
Something Levy would say.
Yes.
This is because he probably knows that he's not going to get the face value for the players he wants to sell. You know,
Yes.
and this is another. I mean, it's all very well saying we don't spend money on players. We don't set the money the players we want to sell. You know, I mean, I was just saying last night, Cameron Carter-Vickers has been at the club. He's still at the club.
Yeah, exactly.
But isn't he sold to Bournemouth?
Well, no, this is it. I think Bournemouth bid all. There's a rumor has it they want $5 million for him. So, well, yeah, take it. We take $5 million. You know, but you know what Levy's like. He'll be like, "Oh no, he's worth 10." You know. No,
well, you know what, Brad? You know what? I didn't know. I didn't mean to cut it. I didn't know it was $5 million. This guy hasn't played for the full team.
Yeah,
he's been on loan for 20 billion years.
Yes.
You're moaning about where is the $2 million for Tomiyasu?
Yeah.
Sell him for 5. Pocket 3.
Exactly.
I'm not an accountant. I don't own a business. Even I can work that out. You're bitching about 2 million. Sell a player that doesn't play for the club, who's losing value because his contract's winding down, for 5 million.
Yeah.
He gets his move for first team football. You get 5 million for doing nothing, and you bring in Tomiyasu.
Yeah. It's not as if Carter-Vickers actually cost us anything. So it's not like, you know,
homegrown.
You know, it's like,
it's funny really, because like we want him to sell like players like Sissoko and Winks who are actually playing for them, but he's not even willing to sell the players who aren't actually even doing anything for the club. They're just sitting there and we're not getting the money. We're not cashing in. We're just waiting. Like, I don't know what he's doing, is sitting there patiently and expecting that someone's just gonna come and give him the money he wants for a player who hasn't even played for the club God knows when last.
You know why? The thing for Levy is like this now. He wants Nuno to get the players that are deadwood to us, right? To perform. So the value will go up. Then he can sell them at a higher price. That's what his plan is. You see? That's why whatever Levy is thinking, we have to think 2 steps ahead of him. We know what he's doing. How to tackle him, that's what you got to do. Think 2 steps ahead of him, and you must know what he's doing. And we know that in the end of the day, it comes down to one thing: the money.
Well, hopefully Paratici isn't an accountant, because you know.
No, Brad, you should know Paratici can give him everything in the world. If he doesn't sign that check to release the funds, we still get nothing. That's it.
And especially on the topic of transferring out players, like 2 weeks ago, like I remember saying there was a lot of posts like Sissoko, Lamela are now given the leave; they can leave the club, but I haven't seen any progress whatsoever. And some may say Euros, but Winks hasn't played Euros. Winks has just been sitting there, and there has been apparent interest from Aston Villa, and I'm pretty sure isn't surprisingly Manchester United are interested in Winks. But honestly, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Levy is the type of guy who's expecting he's gonna get something like 25 or 30 million for Winks.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I'm pretty sure he's expecting some big prize, considering like, oh, he's a first team player and stuff. And I'm skeptic that either of these players, Lamela or anyone, is gonna go this season. I think all of them are just gonna stay, and it's just for show that okay, we're gonna let them leave.
Even with Danny Rose, I mean, you know, they could just paid out his contract. The guy obviously wants to go, you know, but let's keep him here, training with the reserves or whatever. You know, just pay his contract out. It's really frustrating.
Cheaper to pays wages out than to have him on the wage book for each week's pay packet.
Exactly. It comes down to how much control Paratici's got, you know, and what personality he is. I don't really know his personality. We all know that Levy's a skinflint and, well, you know, an accountant, whatever, but we don't know what Paratici. Does Paratici want a bargain? Does Paratici want the same mindset as Levy? I honestly don't know the answer to that. But
I don't think it is, Brad. I think. Go on, Shane. Sorry, buddy.
Apparently, in Juve, he was known for not getting players out of the club. He'd bring them in, but he had trouble selling on the players. So he's just bringing that baggage to Tottenham, where, you know, we're not selling players. Lamela can go, Sissoko can go, Winks can go. You know, I see him in pre-season training, you know, in a few snippets that the Tottenham's website has put out. by focusing on Dele Alli and Dele's revival. Dele can go as well.
Big time.
Big times.
That's true. Yeah. And when we come down to all this about the transfers and all that, as we know, every season and what I call mid-season, we go through all this ups and downs in the emotions. Because somehow or another, we are linked to everybody that we can be linked to. And we usually end up with the people that we don't even know, that we weren't even linked to. All of a sudden, some player will pop up somewhere. Okay, who's this guy?
Well, you know what it is, Eugene?
Yeah.
I was about to say, he can't even hire the right director of football. Now, don't get me wrong, Paratici has done a very good job at Juve. He's brought in the Ronaldos. He's found brilliant free transfers, which I can see already alarm bells started ringing for a certain person. But Juventus is a lot easier to sell than Tottenham.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, we're in London. Yes, it's the Premier League, but it's a lot easier to sell. Yeah, you're going to win the league every year, get far in the Champions League every year. All right, they did win the league this year, or anything, but it's like Juventus as a norm are there, regardless. And it's very, very good. But Paratici has gone in and he's identified very good players for free, the Pogbas and whatever, and sold them at 90 million. But he's also bought Ronaldo for 90 million. And obviously Ronaldo, the wages and the way that contract would have been done was... But like Jose, we had a manager and now we have a director of football that isn't going to get back. Yes, the free transfers maybe, but it depends on the wages. But when it comes to big why we didn't get Luis Campos, whose actual whole thing and what he's known for is finding these superstars cheap, identify them way before they become huge, getting them in for cheap, and then selling them on for a huge profit. It's like, again, I'm not a businessman, but if I had to choose the two and say which one would best suit Levy, it's like, there you go and get this one, go get Luis Campos, because he does everything, like we were saying with Ten Hag. Ten Hag does everything that Daniel Levy wants, but we can't have that because Daniel Levy...
Brian, I'll let you know why, Brian, okay? Jorge Mendes and his commissions in the transfer deals.
That's got nothing to do with getting Paratici in. That's got nothing to do with getting Mendes in. That's go on, Shane.
I was going to say, if you brought Luis Campos in, your manager would have been somebody like Christophe Gaultier.
Which makes perfect sense.
They worked together at Lille and took them to the title.
That's why we didn't get them, Shane, because they win things and we can't win things.
Was Campos the mate of...
we are not allowed to win things. Not can't win things. We are not allowed to win things.
Yeah,
remember?
That's it.
That's it. We are not allowed to because Levy doesn't want us to.
Well, to tell you the truth, that's why. Do you know what? One of the main reasons that I think England are winning the Euros today? Yeah. The main reason England are winning the Euros today, Italy are training at the Spurs training grounds. So they're
oh, seriously?
Yeah, that's where they're
staying. They're staying
at the hotel. They're training. They stayed last night and have been using Tottenham Hotspur's training ground as their base for the finals, so they're bound to lose.
They're trading away as we speak.
Denmark did that as well. Denmark used the Tottenham ground.
So that means they have absorbed all the Spursy energy in and bring it over.
I don't think Levy will be that way thinking. I think he was just thinking, I'll get a check from their training. So he wasn't thinking about trying to do something for the club.
Wasn't Campos mates with Mourinho though? Wasn't he worked with Mourinho? Because maybe he would you go to Tottenham if you've seen your best mate and someone you work with, there for 10 months and then get sacked? He might have thought, well, you know what, I'm not having any of that sort of thing. So,
you know what? This is the state of the club we're in. This is how bad we've become.
Was Campos...
Yeah, Brian really raised an excellent point, and I think that actually played a lot to Levy's mindset. Levy thinks that just bringing in a big name from Paratici from Juventus, he thought, okay, now the fans are going to calm down. I got a big name in. But he didn't consider the fact, the most important fact that Brian raised, that being the director of football for Juventus, trying to get in or sell players to Juventus is a whole different ball game as compared to doing the same negotiations for Spurs. It's a whole different thing. You're going to have to do it's going to be much more challenging to convince a player or to convince a club to take players from us than as compared to Juventus. And I don't think Levy even bothered to consider that. He just saw it as a big name, Juventus. Let's just get him.
I'd never heard of him until he came up. So, you know. So.
You were saying, Shane, you want to say something? You were saying something just now?
I've forgotten.
Okay. All right.
I think Levy's forgotten that we're a football club. So.
Well, the thing is, again, when he signed Paratici, this is the thing that made me laugh in that video. He said, "Yeah, I've met him on numerous occasions." It's like, you're a liar. You've met him twice when we played you in the Champions League, and we got knocked out in the Champions League. You have not been to. What other times has Spurs even apart? Oh, sorry. The only time we actually spoke to him was when we tried to get Dybala.
Yeah.
And who won that?
Yeah.
Levy or Juventus? And it's like, so wait a minute, you're going to get the guy that screwed you, so you can get him in to screw him. So it's like that's the logic.
It's revenge.
No, I must admit, no, I'm because I don't know a lot about Paratici. I'm willing to give him a chance and see what he does. Whereas I know a lot about Daniel Levy. And I'm not willing to give him a chance or another chance. But with Paratici, you know, let's see, and I'm saying with Nuno as that. So let's see what they do, and I've basically resigned myself to a transitional season. So, you know, and see what he can do with the team, see what players we get. I've said it a few times. I hope he gives the youngsters a go. Sessegnon, these sort of players.
Skippy.
Yeah. I'll skip the other one, of course. And because if we can give them games in the Premier League this season and they get bedded in, then next season when we all know what players we've got, he's got his team, he's got his tactics, they're all comfortable with it. You know, he's got rid of the dross. Then next season, which is what happened with Pochettino. The first season under Pochettino was, I think, 5th, which probably
but of course, because the £100 million question is still Harry Kane. £100 million question.
I think he's staying. I think
he's staying too. But now we hear that even MU is into it, right? They're willing to give up 100 million with 2 players add on. But of course, that is still the news out there again. But whether it happens or not, I don't think so. And I think interest from MCT has waned a bit, and they're looking more at Griezmann.
Yeah, and made me laugh. They're quite prime property, weren't they?
Because if MCT was smart, right, they would wait another year, get Griezmann in just to be a stopgap in the striker position, and wait for Kane's price to drop.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like after the Euros finish, City is gonna come in with one last offer, one big bumper offer, and like as a final attempt, take it or leave it. And then if I don't think Levy is gonna agree, but although I'm arguably against and for it, depending on the offer, because like we need a restructure, and no matter how much I love Kane, sometimes you have to do that for the benefit of the club. I think City's gonna come in with one last big offer.
I saw news that apparently that Levy was crumbling and the price was going to drop to 100 million for Man United on the condition that we want 2 of their players.
Yeah, I can see Levy saying that we're not going to sell. Here's 120 million. Okay, we sold him. And then on probably the last day of the transfer window, so we've got no time to use the money. And then he'll come out with some comment about, well, we didn't want to sell him, but when you get an offer like that, you can't turn it down, blah, 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 blah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
But then we're going to be playing with
we're not playing bingo.
This is the thing, Shane. You got to remember, Shane, a few years ago, we sold Keenan Berbatov in the same window, and Levy thought it was brilliant to bring in Fraser Campbell from loan from Manchester United as that's the striker.
Oh, God, yeah, Fraser Campbell.
Now, the Man U one, I heard, when came first this rumour started coming up that he wanted to leave, apparently Man U were ready to offer 85 million, and then it was De Gea, Donny Van Beek, and Martial. And I said, you know what? If you made that 85 million, swap De Gea for Henderson, and swap Martial for Greenwood, so it's Henderson, Donny Van de Beek, and Greenwood, I would take that all day long.
Yeah.
Because then you've got 3 young players. Henderson is the goalkeeper I want to replace Lloris. Full stop. And I'm talking about realistic people. Not obviously, I'd love Donnarumma, but he's going PSG.
Yeah.
And you can see why Poch didn't even want to bother saying I'm leaving. He's getting Donnarumma, he's getting blooming Ramos. He's getting, it's like, what? Why the hell? I can't even get blooming Wanyama without a hassle. But if he was to make 85 million for Kane, Henderson, Van Beek, Greenwood, I'd say, Kane, do you know what? Love you to pieces. I wish you every success. I will always cheer for you when you come back to Tottenham.
Yeah.
But those 3 players plus 85 mil, because what you're getting in that deal is you're getting 3 players we desperately need right now: a goalkeeper, a playmaker in Van Beek, and a guaranteed superstar as a striker.
Yeah.
You imagine Greenwood and Scarlett, that could be. And then you look at it, and then you don't have to trust Levy to go out and spend that money because you've got the 3 players that you. It's like, right, then we can focus on centre-backs, which is obviously... and we'll still be haggling over the 2 million for Tomiyasu, because we just have to
Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me bring in one more guest, all right? The Yit Kid.
Yes, guys.
Good morning, Daniel.
Hey, Daniel.
Good morning.
Hi, Daniel.
Nice to meet you again.
Copa America.
Copa America. Oh, yeah.
I'm part Brazilian, so I'm not quite happy about yesterday.
Okay.
We learned something new then. Okay, so
I thought you're Brazilian by marriage.
Yeah.
Brazilian
you're not
by marriage.
Brazilian. You're not genetically. You're legally
linked.
No, wait, no. If his mum's Brazilian, then
no, it's because my dad, his brother's wife is Brazilian.
Okay, so
Brazilian by marriage.
Yeah. So you don't have the blood. You just have the family tree.
Yeah.
Brothers.
I'm United States by blood. I'm Brazil by marriage, and I'm England by heart.
Well said.
Shane, don't stop talking to him just because of that. Shane is Italian just for today.
I'm Argentina too, so I'm in the bad books with Daniel all over.
Yeah, don't worry, he's very forgiving.
Guys, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay.
One.
No worries.
Daniel, was it your father or your brother who was a fireman? I forget.
My dad's actually a cop, and my dad's brother is a fireman.
Okay, is he okay with the Miami thing and that sort of thing?
Oh yeah.
It's a horrific scene over here.
Yeah.
And they haven't removed everybody out yet, right? There's still people missing, right?
No, a lot of people missing. They only got one boy that miraculously he survived. And his mother was also in the building. She also died. So it was a very tragic scene.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
There was a case where a firefighter that was actually there found her own daughter in the building.
Oh,
God. Yeah. That's very sad.
Yeah.
And this young girl too. Yeah. All right. Have you been listening to what we've been talking about, Daniel?
To be honest, I just woke up. I had a little bit of chocolate Lucky Charms, and I turned on the computer just now.
Yeah. All right.
Daniel, you don't come on tease.
That's what he does to Jamie all the time. We're just talking about Nuno, the players in and out, the training. So, are we going to get any players in? What's going to happen? So, what do you think?
Well, obviously, apparently, what's his name? Tomiyasu's already official. I think. Yeah, there's a few people. Not official by Tottenham, official, but a lot of links, like basically every source from the media saying that he's coming. I saw a source once that he said that he wanted to come to Tottenham, and that was, I believe, from Fabrizio Romano. So
Okay, Daniel, it's still paper talk.
Yeah,
as much as we want to believe otherwise, that's still paper talk.
Yeah. We're Tottenham.
We are Tottenham.
We are Tottenham. we have some conditions to be in Tottenham.
Yeah.
And like what Sanskar said, that we are interested FC.
Yeah.
Interested.
Yeah, Sanskar, you're going to have to copyright that before someone nicks it. Go down to the patent office and say interested FC Tottenham pseudonym.
Yeah.
That's my name. 2021.
Tottenham are tracking. Yeah.
That's it. All right.
I think interested FC is on the money.
Yeah.
Just like
we come to. I mean, do we still want to talk about Tottenham, or you want to talk about something else? Because of course we have a game coming up soon. Right.
England.
Yeah. Let's break it up with a bit of Euro, and then return to Tottenham later.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Because why today I have got Brad here is because Brad is on home ground, so I want to get his feelings, his emotions, and the kinds that we can't get when we are so far away, because we are all sitting behind the television, but he's closest to the stadium at the moment.
He's got his barbecue at the ready, all the burnt sausages.
Yeah. Well, my where I worked when I was working there before lockdown, in the summer you can actually see the arches of Wembley Stadium. So I'm probably about 5 or 6 miles from the stadium.
Edgware?
No, I'm in Ealing, which is West London.
Oh, yeah, you did say, didn't you?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Home of the Blues, but
no, that's Tottenham Hotspur, home of the
Blues. But no, it's crazy over here. It's like 24/7 now. It's every news channel, or certainly Sky Sports News. It's on all the time. I mean, you can literally watch it for an hour or so, and then they start repeating themselves. Even the news channels, it's got it on. There are people at Wembley this morning. They've already started turning up at Wembley. And as I said earlier, I'm sort of regretting the fact that I didn't try and get a ticket. But it's quite interesting that the last time we won something was with a final at Wembley. So it's come round. I must say, I'm not as nervous as I would be if it was Spurs in the final. If it was Spurs in the final,
that comes with extra tickets to the toilet.
Yeah. If it was Spurs in the final, probably would have been bricking it all week, But I'm still nervous. Don't get me wrong, and I will be tonight. And I'll probably, if England win, I'll be very emotional, as I was at the semi-final. I think everyone was. So yeah, it's an amazing atmosphere. I just love to be there. I'm going around to a friend. I said earlier, I'm going around to a friend's to watch it tonight. I would have liked to go onto the We Are Tottenham TV, but I haven't seen my friend for a long time. His family in it for a long time. I couldn't really sort of say no. So I'll be going around there. He only lives around the corner, so it's a short taxi ride or a walk. It'll be very, very, very interesting, very emotional.
Well, if we win, it will be. If we lose, it'll just be here we go again.
Yeah.
It will be emotional, but the other way around.
But we get enough of that at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Just to ask Brian. Okay, Brian. I was just asking Brad the feeling of the build-up to the final in London itself, and he's the nearest person there at the moment.
Yep.
So yeah. So that excitement, that suspense that's building up in you, right? It's like,
do you know what?
That, right?
I mean, I wish I could be home right now. I wish I could do a Mary Poppins and jump into a painting and be home. And it's not so I could go to the game. It's so I can watch it with my dad. It's times like this where it wouldn't even matter if I had tickets. I'd want to watch something like if Spurs got to the Champions League final like they did and I was home, I'd try and get tickets. I'd want to be there. But this is like my dad was actually. I'm hoping lightning strikes twice because my dad was actually bar mitzvahed on the day England won the World Cup.
Wow!
And tomorrow is my dad's birthday.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hoping, kind of lightning in a funny way, can strike twice. But do you know what? The people I've been thinking about, it's like, do you know what? I look back at it, and I think when Donald Trump became president, I think all of the Secret Service were saying, "Please not him, please not him. I'm going to get killed. I'm going to get killed. Just don't be him. Don't be him." Ah, damn it. I think today all the police when they woke up this morning were like, "Please England win, just please England win, please England win."
Oh, yeah.
Because if we win, obviously the scenes around London are going to be fantastic. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, there's going to be some nutcases. I mean, I've seen some videos of guys jumping on a phone box and snorting cocaine on a phone box and then falling down and breaking his ankle, and the police are trying to say you're right. He's doing a line. It's like
Daniel.
It's like you idiot. It's like you idiot. Listen, Daniel can find this online. I'm just saying what I've seen. Listen.
Yeah, but let him discover it without.
Jamie, I'm not handing him a line, am I? I'm talking about someone doing it in London, not a 13-year-old doing it in his bedroom.
You know what, Brian? When England beat Germany just recently, I was watching that at home and a few drinks, as you do.
Yeah.
I opened the windows and I shouted out at the height of my voice, "Germany, you've been caned!" Sort of thing.
So yeah, that's the thing.
That sort of thing.
That's the thing. Around London, I mean, Brian, like you said, you went to one of the We Are Tottenham TV things that I would have loved to have gone to. Which there's going to be loads of those around the country, which is going to be fantastic. And if we win, it will just be scenes of jubilation. It'll be jubilation around the country. Yeah, there'll be some things going on, but a lot of it will be happiness. But if we lose, they're like, okay, here we go.
If you live in England and you own an Italian car, you better want England to win tonight.
Yeah, I think you want to put it in a garage today, don't you? You want to put it. Yeah. There'll be a typical England fan that'll go out driving in his Ferrari if we lose, and he'll be like, "What are you doing?" But yeah, I mean, like I said, the police today, and we all know they have a hard job to do anyway. But right now, they're probably thinking, "Why did I book this day off? As soon as I knew it was the Euro final, why did I?" Because
it's free tickets to the final.
It's on that note, yes. But if you're around the rest of the country, Daniel,
tickets to the final, not free. Free.
But you know what? One thing I have to say about the England team, and I'm delighted with what they've done. They're giving a huge, and I mean a mammoth chunk of all their fees of playing for England to the NHS. Which is
amazing.
Because obviously the footballers got a bum rap for taking their wages, and when they're talking about cuts or whatever, we don't know what they do behind closed doors. And the fact that they're doing it, and to the NHS, who are always phenomenal, but during this time have been outstanding.
NHS is our national health service. Because we have mostly, so it's okay. Just make it
brilliant. Yeah.
So it's brilliant. But like I said, I mean, I know it's like with my parents today. They've been invited to barbecues. They were going to go watch it with my sister and my brother-in-law, my nephews, and my niece. And my mum, like me, is very, very superstitious. She's like, I can't go there because I've watched every game at home with your dad, and if we go and do this, we could lose. Like I was going to come back if we beat Croatia in the World Cup final. To get to the World Cup final, I was very much, do I fly home so I can watch it with my dad? Do I come home? Because obviously, if England win, this is something I'll never, in my lifetime, probably get to see again. But then I started thinking, if I come back and we lose, I'll never forgive myself.
I was getting very emotional after the semi-final win, because obviously I've seen us lose, but also because my dad wasn't here to see it, sort of thing, and that sort of that weighs on you. And so what you're saying about wanting to see it with your dad, that's I can really truly understand that. I must say though, Brian, the irony is, if the final was on at 3:00 in Canada, that's the time it should be on over here, not 8:00 in the frigging evening.
Well, listen, I mean, do you know what? When you look at this as well, you got to think: have they done that? So obviously, when it's over, people are just going to want to get home and not. You got to look at other things. I mean, I would have loved it because one of the things I've loved about here, especially with football, is all the kickoffs obviously are 5 hours earlier. Yeah. So even the midday games are like 7 a.m. for me. So I like getting up early and you get to watch the football. Not only that. What happened in England when we were living in England for the first 3 years of my marriage is obviously if Spurs were on, I used to say to my wife, right, Spurs are kicking off at 4, we're on TV, guess what we're doing? And we couldn't really go out and do anything beforehand because I needed to get back. And then if we lost, I was like, we're not going. So here, at least everything gets done for me early and I still have the rest of the day with my wife so she can lay in and do whatever. But Joe, the finals are normally on a night time in the country anyway, aren't they? Wherever it is. So they try to get prime. Exactly, it's a prime time. But I'm a strong believer. Like the midweek games and Champions League game, that's a Wednesday evening, and that's for obvious reasons. But For me, a football game, a typical football game, as I grew up, and I know you would have as well, Brad. It's 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And then TV money and TV revenue has obviously taken over it. But I grew up Saturday 3 o'clock, and then you had the one game on Sunday that was on ITV, way before Sky, and that was football. But getting back to how England is right now, I mean, this is what I loved, and it meant more for me being over here when I got to see the fan parks and everything back home, and then watching the celebrations after. Obviously, there's a big English community here. There's a big English community. Where I'm actually watching it today with Brian Ireland is actually a bar downtown that is owned by a Spurs fan from London.
Oh, brilliant.
So he's actually got, because still here, we can't have, like, the bars aren't officially open, like, properly. But what he does have is he's got the front of the pub, but at the back he's got, like, a covered terrace.
Oh, yeah.
And he puts the barbecue on, and it's like $10, which is about £6.50. Eat as much as you want. Coke's are refillable, because obviously I don't drink. So I go there, spend about £7, eat as much as I want, drink as much as I want, and that's me done. And then if England, like I said, to just be able to go to a bar now, we're all very, very lucky. You're going to a friend, I heard, Brad, but at least people can go to a bar.
Well, there is one slight problem here, Brian, is that the pubs until July the 19th, it's still only seating. So
okay.
I couldn't get into my local because it had been sold out. You know, I was there for the Czechoslovakia game.
Yep.
But for the other games, it was just sold out. You know, they just did that so quickly. And I keep getting emails from the brewery that owns the pub saying, "Oh, watch the football at our pubs. Watch it." And you can't. So we did actually try a load of other pubs, but most of them are fully booked because it's just seating only, and you got bar serving, that sort of thing. You know, but
social distancing issues.
Yeah, although I must admit, the clip I saw of We Are Tottenham TV, the semi-final, was everyone standing up and around and jumping around. So,
Did you see the security? Did you see the security separating everybody?
Yeah.
I was like, if I was a security, I'd be jumping in to celebrate with them.
Exactly. Yeah. Although
probably get fired. But
that is actually, I don't know whether they've got over it. It's an Indian restaurant / bar. And it's outside, so whether that's the reason they got over it, I don't know. But you know,
I have to say as well, just while you talk about them, I haven't been able to get there. I can't wait to get home in October and meet Ben and Sim and everyone. But what a fantastic job Ben and Simeon have done once again.
Yeah,
I mean, they what they do, not just for their channel, but the entire Spurs community. They've been godsends to me. They're like very close friends of mine now. I love them to pieces. They're just genuinely fantastic boys that have gone out of their way to get something organised, so people could share it at this time. Yeah, and they've just done a wonderful job.
Well, luckily I got to meet them at the Ukraine game when I got there. I was one of the first ones there, and I just said hello to them, that sort of thing. And very nice lads. And you're right, Brian. They've done a absolutely brilliant job, and they've given support to all the other YouTubers out there as well.
They've been phenomenal.
It's just brilliant. Just brilliant. So so fair play to them. They've been great.
So they were a little bit blotto by the end of the broadcast.
And still trying to interview. How do you think they did today?
I think I might have just the Ukraine game as we're leaving, and they might have been broadcast. I know, and sort of leant over. Nice to meet you guys. So that might be on there as well. Sort of thing.
So they're proud. I mean, everyone today, I mean, obviously I don't drink, but everyone, listen, they're going to drink today. And there's always, you all know, if England with alcohol, if you're in a happy mood and you drink, you're a happy drunk. And if you lose, and listen, Ben and Sim have gone everywhere with Tottenham Hotspur and had to go through the agony. If anyone deserves a little bit of pleasure and joy, it's them two. And like I said, today I've woken up and I just keep watching Sky News and other things just to see how the country. I mean, I saw yesterday, even when the lovely touch when they left St George's Park and all the staff, but when you saw them driving down the motorway and everything, and the roads were just absolutely chock-a-block. And let's just hope everything goes swimmingly. The letter from the Queen was lovely. Obviously, for her to, I mean, it's grabbed the nation. I mean, obviously, she was there for the 1966 World Cup. I think Prince William will be there today, and let's hope he gets to do what his grandma did.
Yeah.
I would have hoped. I would have hoped that in the bottom of the message, she would have put in small words, "Football's coming home."
Oh, could you?
That would have tapped on
Someone
the
sent me a picture today, and I've been whilst I was outside having a cigarette, and I was just like, please, I mean, if only this was real. If only this was real. Where is it?
I mean, even in America, though, it's like.
I was like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if, like, literally, could you imagine, like, we all know the Queen and how she. Can you imagine if she's like there right now at Windsor Castle? She's got a big screen. She's got a packet of 20 Benson on one side. She's got a 6-pack over there, and mate, that'd just be just that picture alone is like. Could you imagine?
I don't think she'd go for the face paint. She may put on like the ribbon, the red ribbon across on a white dress, and she'd have like her 6-pack of Chablis and her Hamlet, dong dong.
That's it. Yes, Hamlet. Yeah.
Even though.
Don't disturb me while he's watching the game.
Yeah, they're having live streaming in America though, outside.
Are they?
Oh,
yeah. I'll be watching it there with a few mates.
Yeah, do you know whether it's
same time on it?
Is it live screening of the match, or are they just going through COVID protocol?
No, it's live streaming of the match.
I thought you said live screening.
Oh.
streaming. But I'm sure in a lot of other countries, but apart from Malaysia, because for us now we are more or less in total lockdown. Everything is closed except for some essential businesses. There's a lot of open. There's no more by 10 p.m. at night. It's like gone into curfew time, so we can't do anything about. Yeah, so the only thing we can do is to watch it at home, right? And for me, I'll be watching it alone because I'm the only football fan in the family. My wife and my daughter,
Eugene, maybe we can hook up as. Maybe you and I can hook up a Zoom or a Messenger, and we can have each other on the screen. And when we score a goal,
yeah, but then you've got this is the thing, you got to be careful, because when I did a couple of watch-alongs for Spurs for We Are Tottenham, obviously the feed here in Canada is a few seconds behind what it was in other countries. So unless you two have it synced up, or one of you pause it so you're at the right time. When someone goes, "Oh my god, it's a goal," and you're like, And
the comments too. Sometimes the comments just they're like comments exploding. Whoa.
Even with We Are Spurs TV, I'm watching We Are Spurs TV, which is the same all over the world with the time and whatnot, and I get a text alert before they react.
Yeah. I like that as well.
The time lag is one thing. Yeah, we understand that. That's why when we were watching the Mexico-US final in Will's Rants, remember that day? Somehow or another, when US scores first and the comments were saying, "Oh, it's already 1-0." Then, "Oh, it's already 1-1." But we're all still here waiting for the goal to come in. Yeah. But
I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if you guys remember Spain versus Portugal when Ronaldo scored that free kick.
Oh yeah.
I see.
My dad makes a bet with me, and he gets a notification from his phone that Ronaldo scored, and he's like, "If Ronaldo scores this, you're washing the dishes tonight."
And you took it.
What you've got to do is you've got to take his phone off him before the match starts.
He just said it right there before the free kick.
I'll tell you what it is, kid. I've had this happen to me before. Whenever someone says Ronaldo is about to score, don't take that bet, because it's a guarantee. If there's one player that's going to do it at one, if you said, Serge Aurier is about to take a free kick, I bet you if he scores, you do the dishes. You take that bet. If someone says to you,
Harry Kane takes the free kick.
or if they say Cristiano Ronaldo is going to say, no, I'm not taking that bet. It's simple as that.
Well, you can, Daniel, you can put a little proviso on. Okay, right. If he scores, I do the dishes, but you order pizza.
And
I'm not
the bet with Iggy and Chris. Brian, did you hear the part?
Say again?
The bet between Iggy and Chris.
Oh, Chris with pineapple on a pizza.
Yeah, that I want to see. Make sure it's live streamed and we all get to witness it.
Iggy will be doing it live.
You
know what?
It has to be slices, not little chunks.
Iggy is phenomenal. I love Iggy to pieces.
We love him too. Yeah.
Excuse me, he's a great guy. born in England, everything, but he's Italian to the core. And do you know what? And I do mean if Italy win it, yes, I'm going to be totally annoyed because England, but he's Italian, so he can have that little moment. I know he'll feel the other way, but also one of my dad's closest friends and their family is Italian. They're actually going, and they're very, very close friends of the family. So you know, yes, I don't get me wrong. 1,000,000,000%, I want England to win. I do not want Italy to win 1 second. I don't want them to win 1 header. I don't want them to win 1 tackle. If they win, I'm not going to be like, you bloody Italians, I hate them. But there'll be I'll be annoyed, but there'll be that little. You've seen your team winning, but Italy have won 4 World Cups and a Euro. Give it to someone that hasn't.
Yeah.
Have pity on us. Have a pity on us.
Did you hear what catcher Michael said before the game when they asked him if he could stop football from coming home, and he was like, "Has it ever come home?"
Yeah.
And I thought the laser was karma.
Yeah. But the FA, us getting fired over our fireworks, it's like, do you know what? I'll tell you what, if England win, I don't think the FA are going to give a goddamn monkey how much.
No, exactly,
Our people can let off $1 billion.
There's something I don't understand in football. How is the club going to get fined when it's the fans that are doing it? What if they're not real fans? What if they're fans from another club? I could wear an Arsenal jersey, go to the Emirates, and start singing chants that are not right, and they're going to fine Arsenal.
Well, this is the problem. You just made a problem. You said if you go to Arsenal and make a chant, it's a library there. They'll know you're not. They'll know you're not an Arsenal fan. They'll be like, "What are you doing? We don't have thing in here." I
got thrown out of Arsenal once for shouting a 4-letter word. I shouted out "goal."
Wasn't North London derby?
Yeah, but also it depends. If we win, there's going to be chaos outside in a happy way, but there'll still be a few idiots. And if we lose, it'll go from being a happy riot to be an angry riot. So
that's what I'm saying. The semi-final against Germany in '96, which I went to. After the game, apparently in central London, any German car they were smashing, and I think there was some poor German student that sort of like hold up something because they're outside. So it's only a minority. Let's get that straight. It's a minority.
In '96, did we play England? Was it England? Was there an England-Spain fixture?
Yes, I was there. We were beating on penalties.
I was stuck in Cheshunt, just got past Waltham Cross. And they all came out. They were jumping on the fountain. They were jumping on the roof of the car in front of me, and I was just tooting my horn in time, hoping they weren't going to jump on the roof of my car.
It gets a bit crazy. I went. Sorry, go on.
No, just a question here from Wayne Bonner. How do you think England will play tonight? I think
they'll play Southgate ball.
They're going to be completely conservative. Like with Italy, Southgate is going to be just keep the ball, keep possession, stay back. They're not going to attack that much. I'm literally 100% sure because against the Italy team, whose attack is so strong, I don't know. I just feel like knowing Southgate and what he's done so far, he's not going to take that many risks. He's going to tell them play safe, play your game, take chances.
No, honestly,
he's got Germany off his back, and now he goes for the final. So maybe he's trying to get rid of all his baggage.
Yeah, I think this can only go 2 ways: England winning 1-0, or like Italy winning by 5 goals. Because it can either be a masterclass or a disaster class. Obviously, I hope it's a masterclass.
Oh, that's the Brazilian coming out on you. 7-0 to Germany. 7-1 to Germany.
Well,
I was actually there that day.
Come on, he's a secret millionaire. You do know that.
we have to not succumb to the dark arts that they're also going to play tonight as well, and they're going to get drawn in to all this stuff. And
Daniel already has. His dad's a Man City fan.
Yeah.
I said it. I think it's be 2-1 or 3-1 England. There's going to be a red card. I don't know who to, what side. But listen, one thing I will say, whatever way we play today, whatever lineup comes out, I'll go with Gareth Southgate. He has done absolutely everything right. I don't care if he made wholesale changes.
Do you think he will stay with the same lineup that played?
I think Saka will come in for Foden, or Saka will get that.
But I heard Foden is injured.
Yeah, Foden may have a foot, but I think Saka's going to get that position. And for me, I think, listen, I'm not one of those that if Saka scores the winner in the 90th minute, I will be screaming Saka's name. Yeah. I will be celebrating. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Did you see the guy from AFTV that every time Harry Kane scored, he wouldn't celebrate?
Yeah. It's like
crazy.
Lee is a great guy and one of the nicest on Arsenal fan TV that actually says things. Everyone has their own way of dealing with things. Like I mean, I hate Arsenal. I hate Arsenal with a passion like you. Only surmountable to Levy is what I. But that's when he puts that England shirt on. He's an England player.
Exactly.
And today I support England. What I think is key today is, you mentioned the dark arts, Eugene, and we know they're coming. We know they're coming. So it's being wise. I mean, I saw. Just funny today, I was watching, yesterday, I was watching people getting stupid red cards. And it's like when players have put their hands up like that, players walked in and gone, and just fallen down. And listen, just don't do anything. Keep your hands down, because Italy, they're going to go for it. But what I think is key is obviously their defence is aging. There's no getting away with it. Their best player, Spinazzola, is out. They might be playing the Chelsea left-back Emerson, who is not a first-teamer, who is also a Brazilian like Jorginho, but somehow plays for Italy, but that's beside the point. But the thing is, with our pace, I think it's about literally if Saka or Sterling could get their fullback booked early, it's like, right, literally just give them the ball, keep running.
Yeah.
And literally, if they want to play the dark arts, we're not going to play we are in a kind of way playing the dark ways. We're going to hammer in on a player that's got booked. It's like if we could get a left back or a left winger or a right back and a right winger booked, it's like, right, get the ball on this side and just run. Just run, and hopefully you'll get in that position. You know those ones where you just got to nick the ball because you can see him coming in.
Yeah.
Contact, bang, off you go.
Exactly.
I think also what you got to look at, I think the biggest thing, if I was going to Saka, the biggest thing to worry about right now is I don't know if it's going to get done in 90 minutes. I've got a feeling if it's done, it's going to be extra time. There'll be a winner. I don't think, obviously, if it gets to penalties, do you know what? How brilliant would it be England to win on penalties? My nerves won't be able to take it. If England actually won it on penalties, my God. But
Smog will descend over Toronto, and it'll be created by one man.
But what you got to look at in extra time? What he's got to look at in extra time is, does he bring on subs to try and see out the game, to try and win the game, or does he start thinking penalties? And it's like, right, I need 5 penalty takers. And the good thing is we've got a lot of people that do take penalties for their clubs.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, it was, of all time for Harry Kane to miss a penalty, I've always said, like, all right, he scored the rebound, but I've always said, whenever it gets to a knockout, just please don't be a Spurs player that misses. Just please don't.
I was feeling ill on Wednesday night. I felt physically sick when we got the penalty. I'm going, Harry, no, because I knew he's got his doubters out there somehow, and he knew that if he missed it, and everyone will be, told you about.
Yeah, that's the one thing, Brad. No one doubts him on penalties. No one. He's like the greatest. And it came to that, and it's like, what have you done? But luck, that just shows the luck. He did it against West Ham as well. When the penalties get saved, I don't know if it's technique. It always, the way the goalkeepers save it, it just comes back out to him, and he's lucky enough, but you don't get that.
Gets the rebound
in a penalty shootout. So I think the substitutions, which after the Scotland game, I was furious with Southgate because he only made 2 of the 5.
Yeah.
But that's hindsight now, Gareth. I totally forgive you. You knew what you're doing. But with this game, this is kind of, it is. There's no doubt. It is literally winner takes all.
I think also the Scotland game.
Hold on, Brad. I need to ask you one question. How's the weather in London now?
It's actually come over cloudy. It's currently.
Is it forecast to rain for the match?
No. It's 21 degrees Celsius at the moment.
Okay, good.
And we're looking at where are we? It's literally cloudy the whole day. Here we go. Kick-off time, rain. And they got the little rain cloud with the 1 drop, which means light rain.
Light rain.
9 o'clock, the darker cloud with the 2 raindrops, so it was proper rain. So and that's literally it's 20 hours. Yeah, still 19 degrees, so it's still reasonably warm. But So
all right, okay. Just for a moment now. Okay. because most of all of us are England fan supporters. Only one person in this panel now is supporting Italy, and that's Shane.
Say why?
So, Shane, shall we get a few words from Shane about Italy?
Well, I'm an Aussie, so you know, I don't know. I just think that Mancini's been playing good tactical football.
Yep.
His tactics throughout the whole lead up to this final has been spot on. Yes, we lost Spinazzola, which is the best defender.
Best player of the tournament, in all honesty.
Honestly, you know, he probably is was one of the best players on the tournament. I originally was going to go for Spain. I support Spain when it comes to European competitions. So my team got knocked out by Italy, so I think that Italy will win.
So, Shane, do you have any? When you say you support Spain in international tournaments, do you have any like family ties or anything? Yeah, but do you have any connection to Spain, or you just like the style of football they play, so that's why you root for Spain?
Style of football, other than Australia, of course.
Of course,
Australia. You know, we rarely make it to the World Cup, so every time we're in the World Cup, you know, I cheer them on. But you know, out of a continent, I think that, you know, they've had some of the biggest superstars to ever play for them as well. So that's why I support Spain.
But Australia has a good women's team. Australia has a good women's team. They usually make it far in the Women's World Cup.
Yeah, the women are better than the men.
Yeah, and same thing over here in Miami, in Florida, and in America. But guys, do you guys realize that we're one game away from seeing the whole England squad in Phil Foden hair? Harry Kane. We've seen Harry Kane the whole time with that same haircut basic, and now we're gonna see him with Phil Foden white sprayed hair.
Have they all said they're gonna do that?
Yeah, every player. Harry Maguire as well. I can't picture that in my mind.
Oh, based on that alone.
Maguire, that big round squared head with white.
Any pineapple on it?
I just can't.
No. This is margarita with some sriracha on it. I'm just trying to get rid of. I'm trying to get rid of the Italian stuff in our house.
I actually heard the Harry Maguire song for the first time at the VRT.
What a tune!
It doesn't make any.
He drinks a vodka. He drinks a Jaeger. His head,
his head massive. Yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, so maybe that comes from his time in Greece, didn't he? Where he had the.
Well, no, it was actually they were actually singing that to him in Leicester.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So it started in his Leicester days. So they obviously just adopted it at Manchester. But Joe, you talk about that. You say about Kane. What about Calvin Phillips with all his hair? Must be going, oh no. No.
Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish. All that effort. He's got Winks chasing him around the pitch, asking him what shampoo he wears, and now he's gonna have to spray his hair white. And all that work that he put into his hair, all his life is gonna be gone.
I think they'll sacrifice it for the common goal, but yeah, it will be funny. Apparently, they said as well if they win it, they're all going on a Wild Wild West trip to Las Vegas to celebrate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I deserve it.
I'll be going to Las Vegas to see if I find Harry Kane for an autograph.
Yeah, and then just say and then get on your hands and knees and say, please, please, please stay, please.
Yeah. But if they all have blonde hair, you might go up to Grealish, not up to Kane.
Well, I really want Kane to win this. Like, Kane needs this after all the agonizing years at Spurs. Kane needs this win. I don't know how Kane's gonna handle it if they lose. I have no idea. It's gonna be too much pain for one guy.
It's a great comment because I just wonder whether if England do win, whether that will help Kane stay at Tottenham. That he might sort of think, you know what, I've actually won something. I don't know. I don't know whether that will.
It'll help him. It'll help him one way. in Daniel Levy or keep him because his price will go up 50 million.
Yes.
That's what.
Golden Boot. 2 goals from the Golden Boot.
Well, I was about to come on to that. I mean, we all know from very, very close quarters the very, very special once in a generation player we have in him. But when he still has his criticism, it's like straight away when he weren't scoring the 2 goals, they're vilifying him. Oh, get him out, get him out. He's not that. This guy has now. I said at the beginning of the tournament, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. He started the World Cup on fire, and then we went out. So if he has to do it this way, I'll take it all day long. He's in his 3rd tournament, and we won't talk about the first one in France. We went out to Iceland because that was just like Harry Kane on corners and whatever.
Yeah, oh God,
he's already tied with Gary Lineker for the highest goals scored in international tournaments. He's only really scored at 2. It's like, well, there you go. He's 1 goal away from becoming the biggest England goal scorer in tournaments. He's 1 goal away from tying for the Golden Boot. 2 away from winning it outright.
Yeah.
An England captain that's got his team to the Euros final.
Yeah.
He's currently the Golden Boot winner, a Golden Assist, or whatever you want to call it, playmaker.
In the Premiership.
I mean, how many more things does this guy need to achieve after struggling Tottenham?
Yeah.
So people have been saying, and Rio Ferdinand and Jermaine Denis put some respect on Raheem Sterling's name. Well, it's about time people start doing it for Harry Kane.
Yeah, no, spot on.
Because it's not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Sterling fan. I don't rate him, but I rate what he's done in the last 2 games. The last 2 games, he has been outstanding.
Yeah.
Do I want him at Tottenham? No, I do not.
Yeah.
But Harry Kane deserves that respect. He deserves. And you got to remember what Harry Kane does as well. He's one of those footballers that you never see bad press about. He's never out smoking. He's never out having a love affair. He's never out partying. He is the ultimate professional.
I'll tell you a story about Harry Kane, which I haven't told anybody because it's obviously sort of slightly personal. There's a guy in our office who is 42. He's got a couple of kids. One's only probably about 18 months old. And he's got a brain tumour. And he probably hasn't got a long time to live. Before the Man City final, we found out that he was watching it at his family home, watching the final. I sent an email to Tottenham. Can someone put me in contact with Harry Kane? Because I knew Harry Kane did a lot of sort of these things, kids and that. I got an email back from Charlie Kane, his brother, and he said, "Yeah, Harry would love to do that. Could you, are you on WhatsApp sort of thing?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah." And then I got a WhatsApp message from Lois Kane, who I presume works for the company.
Yeah.
And it was from Harry Kane, and it just basically wished hope you enjoy the game, but sort of thing. I mean, obviously because he couldn't sort of say hope you get well, because he's not going to get well, but it's just him for about 30 seconds saying, "I really hope you enjoy the game and thanks for your support from all the players." And he did that literally within days. And I sent that to the guy, and they played it to him just before the game. So that's the sort of man he is. He's just brilliant in that respect.
I saw that. I saw that that tweet from Harry Kane. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Some of the things Harry Kane does. That's why the media they don't like him, because they don't have anything to write about him. They just write about him. They're like, his voice.
I think certain players are more grounded. You see. Yeah. The problem is that we don't have enough of those type of players in our squad.
Well, he's had to work, Eugene. He's had to work to get where he is. He's had all the loan spells and and all the doubts.
I know, but the way that he doesn't act like over a famous celebrity kind of character where he needs to go out and get all the attention that the other players are doing. You see,
you look at it. You look at it. You read it up like and I'm going to use Wayne Rooney. Because Wayne Rooney is married to his childhood sweetheart. They've been but obviously we know Wayne Rooney has done some naughty things and whatever. Harry Kane has literally been with her. Why has her name got out of my head? Whatever her name is, been with her.
I think it's Kate. Kate Kane.
So he's been with her since primary school or secondary school. Sorry, grown up. They got 3 beautiful girls, and. You just look at it. He has been the total, utter professional.
Yeah.
And we all know how we feel about Judas when he went to the filth and whatever. if he does leave, and I personally think he will, and I've said this for a while, he will go with my constant blessing.
Yeah.
If I'm ever at Tottenham and he appears, I've been lucky enough. I've been to Spurs many times when Paul Gascoigne has returned, whether it be with Everton or Middlesbrough. When you go there and Paul Gascoigne returns, the ovation this man gets is like God has walked into the building. No matter what, it's like you're Spurs and you are. When he takes a corner, the entire stand is like this.
Exactly.
He is like, and Harry Kane will get that respect.
Yeah.
And you also know if he does score against us, he won't celebrate. He will
be like, and do you know what? The fans will actually applaud it. The fans, like Ronaldo, when the fans will actually applaud if he. You know what I mean? Not in a. It won't be it'll be. And listen, I want.
So he's not going to do an Adebayor.
No, thank you. As much as I always want what's best for Tottenham, in this instance, I want what is best for Kane.
Yeah.
If Kane thinks he can give us one more year and stay, if he says, right, you know what, I've given you everything.
Yeah.
You've asked me to do this, I've done it. I've done this, I've done that. Then I am literally going to be saying, do you know what? You do and do you. You go by total blessing.
Be interested to see if he actually puts in a transfer request. What happens? Because I'm with you, Brian, on that. Yeah, if he puts in a transfer request, you have to sell him. You have to.
I'll be fine.
We have a message from Brisbane.
I just want to know if Harry Kane gets a golden boot in the Euros, will he become the only player in the world to have got the golden boot in the Premier League, in the Euros, and in the World Cup?
It's a good question.
That's true.
Yeah.
I believe you're talking Premier League. Yes.
Premier League, yes.
I know what I did check. I think there is someone that I don't know if they've done it consecutively, like World Cup and Euros, but there is a player, I can't remember who, has won both. A Euros and a World Cup golden boot, but I don't know if they've done it in the same like the consecutive tournaments. So I think that'll be a first. But when it comes to Premier League, I don't think Thierry Henry. So you've got to look at Premier League strikers that have got the golden boot. You're looking at Shearer. He's won the golden boot at the Euros. He didn't do it at a World Cup.
Yeah. Especially consecutive tournaments.
Yeah.
Well, with the timing of the Qatar 2022, in not much more than a year, if he gets the golden boot in the World Cup, he'll have made history. Getting the shortest period of time.
Consecutively, and with the Euros.
I've also said with Brian Ireland, I've said we're going to do it straight away. That if we win the Euros today, we are both putting $100. We've raised it. We're going to put $100 each on England win the World Cup. I honestly think if England can do this and get over this hurdle of winning, they're
a young team, aren't they?
This is the thing. We look at it at Russia, and at Russia, like they've been saying, we had a young team that hadn't got that far, and Southgate had been developing this squad and now they've shown what they can do. And then you say Jack Grealish, another 2 years older, Foden, another 2 years older, Rashford, Saka.
All of them will be in their
and don't forget, we still got Greenwood and all that coming from the back.
Yeah.
The backup.
England's bench is probably the best bench in the Euros. And another thing was with England, if they win the Euros, I think the Euros is more superior than the Copa America. Because if you look at it in the last World Cup in Russia, in the semifinals, there was no teams from South America. It was all from Europe.
Yeah.
So I think if England win, I think they'll be superior right now to Brazil and Argentina. So I think they'll. I mean, not
if England. Do you think England will be ranked number 1 in the world if they win the Euros?
No, I don't understand why Belgium is ranked number 1. They haven't won one international trophy.
No, that's because of the coefficient rankings from FIFA.
Yeah, there are a lot. I honestly don't think the rankings matter that much because Belgium has been ranked 1 for so long, but they've never been able to get over the line. It's all because of the friendlies. They always perform in the friendlies and stuff, but they've never been. They have the talent, but that's never been enough to get them over the line. Like semis,
that will come down to the problem of the manager again, Martinez.
next year is the World Cup in December 2022.
Yeah. It's somewhere in November, December.
Yeah, because that means that our players have already started the season and will be probably heading towards peak. Whereas normally in tournaments, they've had a really heavy season before, and you always got that possible fatigue. So that could work in our favour. So, and I mean, the odds you're going to get, it's not. I keep meaning to put 10 quid on Spurs winning the title every year because you 50 or 60 to 1.
You're saving money, mate.
I know, Eugene. You're going to ask me this question, and I do have to go shortly. I think England will win tonight, not because we're better than Italy or Italy are better than us. I'm not superstitious, but I'm very much a law of averages guy. And if you look at this tournament, we beat Croatia in the first opening game we've won for a while. I've seen England lose to Germany in all these knockout games since, the last knockout game we had beaten them was probably the World Cup '66. And I thought, that has got to change. We won the game. I've seen Spurs in so many semi-finals. I've seen England in 2 semi-finals. I thought, that's got to change. It did. We're playing in a final. I've seen Spurs lose finals. I obviously haven't seen England lose finals. We're playing Italy that haven't lost a game in 33 games. That has got to end. All these records have to end sometime. And I think that's why I've seen so many losses over these years that's why I think we're going to win tonight. We might, if we get a bit of luck, we might get a decision that goes for us. Anything can happen. Might be VAR, might be a sending off. I just think that we're going to win because of that reason. We've got a good team and we're playing a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I think that's the reason why we'll win tonight. I might be regretting this tomorrow morning, but that's why I think we'll win. We have got a good team, but we got on the right side of the draw. Germany was our big game. We beat them. The other teams that are favoured to win, France, Belgium, all got knocked out. Although we are playing a very good Italian side, don't get me wrong. And also this Italian side were absolutely brilliant against, who was it? Against Belgium. Was it Belgium?
Yeah.
Belgium. Actually brilliant against Belgium. But I thought Spain should have beaten them. And yet they won through. So they're hot and cold. They're playing hot and cold. So I think that given all these sort of circumstances, this is why I think that England will win tonight.
This Spain can score a penalty.
And it took me bloody ages putting that bloody music clip together yesterday as well. So they found him.
If you remember, Italy beat Belgium convincingly, but at the same time, Austria had an offside goal, and Austria managed to get them 0-0 for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
so not to say that they've been performing at the best and the favorites. So it's still.
But I think the freshness will come in again because I think Italy has played more extra time games.
They have.
I think about three.
They played 2.
Two.
Yeah, but
the extra time
and the extra day rest.
Yeah, but they have extra day rest. But the depth in the squad, I don't think they are as good as us.
You know what I say as well for both teams as well. We saw it unfortunately with Italy with Spinazzola. We have to remember these players are humans. They've literally had the COVID season where not the season we've just gone through where it first broke. There was the long break, then they came back, then it was a short season, then there were stupid internationals that didn't need to be played, then it was like this season, then it was straight to a Euros, then they come back, then they're going to go this, then they've got a World Cup. I just hope and pray there isn't an injury, because the Spinazzola one wasn't even like a tackle, he literally, just from running, his Achilles just ruptured. Yeah. And you've got to think at some point now, the one thing I will say, Gareth Southgate has done good game management with his substitutes. He's done it, whether it be for tactical or fitness reasons. Italy has started to pick up a lot more injuries. All right, we've got Foden, but Italy have picked up more injuries through this tournament. Yeah. I just hope on both sides that this length of time that they've been playing, and everyone says, they're trained athletes, they're trained to do this. Yes, they are, but they're trained to have rest during the season. They're trained to do things. They have not stopped. And of course they're going to try and be fit, and they're going to try it because it's their country. They're going to really but I just hope this game isn't ruined, and I say ruined, I mean affected badly by a really long-term injury on both sides.
Brazil and Argentina yesterday, it was 90 fouls.
Oh yeah, I saw that match too. It was really rough again.
Everybody was on Neymar, literally, like the whole game.
No,
I know Neymar
that was Argentina's plan to bring Neymar down.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Neymar gets the ball,
you've got to
chop him.
Otamendi deserved like a red card. Like I could say, I remember 3 times that he did a red card tackle.
And the best part is that I was surprised Otamendi is still playing.
I was so shocked.
I was like,
Otamendi for Argentina.
Oh.
As soon as Gio got the ball, he was surrounded by 3 players.
Yeah, Neymar made him look stupid with a little bit of showboating though as well. From a throw in, he came running and he just flipped it over him like he wasn't there. It's like, okay, he's gone.
But the thing I could say about that, it doesn't matter if you're rainbow flicking if you're over players. If you're doing it in the half field and you're not making a threat, you can make all the players you want. It's not going to make a difference in the game. You could make you a little highlight reel like Dele Alli wants, but it doesn't matter when it comes to the numbers of football. It'll still be 0-0. It's not going to count like a goal or anything.
Yep.
But one of the best players from last night was definitely Rodrigo de Paul, and I think Atletico made a really good signing for him with just 35 million, and he's really going to be a great talent for Argentina in the future. Like, he played amazing football yesterday. He set up the Di Maria goal, which won them the game. He was great. Like, as compared to the rest of the squad, like even Messi. He's Messi, but like even he had a little bit of lackluster game, especially I don't know, whoever watched must have seen the miss at the end. Like he could have just sealed the game for Argentina.
But that was him. That was him trying to stick it to the Brazilians in their face, walk it into the back of the net, just like take it in slow motion, you know.
Flick it up, nod it in.
At least he's won a tournament
Get
now.
on the ground.
Yeah. You know what?
He deserved it.
As much as exactly, if we could say obviously like we talk about Kane and how much if there's a player that has deserved to win an international honour, I think we could all say definitely Lionel Messi deserved it. So at least he's got that. He can go to bed and say I won something with Argentina, because it would have been a crime if he hadn't.
Well,
yeah, but go on.
I was going to say, the one thing that makes you feel old, and you'll experience this in later life, Daniel, the one thing that makes you feel old is when you see a player's whole career. I remember, was it a 17-year-old Messi playing in one of the World Cup finals, and this is the new player, and now we're seeing him at the end of his career, and that's when you think, I'm getting old now, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to Argentina, right, the last time they won a trophy was in 2008. Now, the last time Tottenham won a trophy was also in 2008. They come back, and this season they win a trophy. Maybe next season now we come in and we win a trophy.
Hey.
Who knows? Loving the conspiracy theories.
Can
Nuno end the curse?
So, do you reckon Mason Mount and Jack Grealish will both start?
I love Jack Grealish, but there's something that Southgate has against him. I honestly don't.
I think that's honestly, the only thing Southgate's plan throughout the tournament has been to keep Jack Grealish on the bench until 60 minutes so that he can come on and do the most damage when the other players are tired. Because like he's done that consistently, and he's not going to start him today either. Like he's going to wait for the Italians to get tired, and he's just made Jack Grealish a super sub for the entire tournament, and I don't see why he's going to change his strategy now. He's going to implement the same strategy. He won't mess around a bit too much. I think he's smart enough to know he shouldn't do that for a final. So it's going to be the same lineup we've seen: Saka and Sterling, Kane, Phillips, Rice, and then Mount in the middle.
So you know what it is as well, Daniel? What it is as well, you look at it, I love Jack Grealish. I absolutely adore him. I would love him at Spurs, but we're not going to go down that road because we know where that takes us back to. He is outstanding. For me, he should be the second name on the team sheet after Kane. He is that good. But again, as has been said, he's bringing him on, and if this is what Southgate wants to do right now, I totally back him. You do what you do. He has done that. He has brought him on to have an impact when players are tired.
Yeah.
And with Italy tiring because they're not as old or as young as us, but it just goes to show in that Denmark game, the reason he's doing it is because he doesn't trust him defensively. Because as soon as he brought it, that was the telltale sign for him. When he came off, no one likes to be a sub that gets subbed. It's kind of frowned upon kind of thing. But he did it because listen, we need to hold on to this now. I don't need creative. I need this to come on. So if this is what he's doing, and it's like, right, the one thing we know we have to be because the biggest thing for me, and I said it on the two Bryans, is Italy have been outstanding with their goal conversion from outside their box. And we need to make sure that we block them as quickly as possible. And if Grealish isn't going to do that, then we can't have it. Bring him on 60, 70, and then he is without a doubt having a huge impact. Yeah. And not only that is he only having an impact on the pitch, it's that rallying cry off the pitch that's getting the fans like, right, it's Grealish time, here we go. So he has to, if he starts, I'll be delighted. If he comes on from the bench, I'm delighted. So,
right. Supposedly,
just hold on for a while, Jamie. I need to bring on Kieran. Right, Kieran wants to join us. Just hold on for a while.
Yes, Kieran.
All right, Kieran. Okay, Jamie, back to you.
What are
okay.
Hi, brother.
Okay, right. Supposedly, the Sun have leaked there's 12 for England, and according to this is from One Football and where we got there, Give Me Sport. Apparently, it's going to be Pickford in goal. At the back, Maguire, Stones, Walker in midfield, Shaw, Phillips, Rice, and Trippier, and at the front it'll be Sterling, Kane, and Mount. But that's
no Saka.
So he's going back three.
Oh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, because you got Shaw and
But
at the very start of that, Jamie, did you say this has been leaked by the Sun?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying it with a bit of a pinch of salt.
Yeah, that's right.
I trust news from the moon more than the sun.
Okay, just to introduce you, whoever's not met, this is Kieran. I'm sure you met Brian. You know Jamie, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then Sanska is from India Spurs, Bangalore side.
Nice to meet you.
And nice to meet you. Brad, have you met Brad before?
I've seen you on he's on David Harris, Irish Hotspur.
I've seen you there too. You're always a great guest.
And Shane on next to Jamie is from Australia. Next to Jamie, I could do that.
Can I just make a quick to Kieran? Your picture on your YouTube site, okay? We got Dyer in the crowd. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm actually in that clip because
really
when that happened, we just lost to Norwich on penalties, and I'm giving the players daggers. How could you lose that? Dyer's down on the side, and then he comes towards the barrier, and I thought, he's going to give his shirt to someone. He gets over the barrier, and he's actually coming right up towards me, and I swear blind.
You thought he was coming for you.
He's looking straight at me, and I'm thinking. And he gets to literally a seat in front of me, and then he starts pointing. I go, I'm going to get you. And he walks past me and into the crowd. There's a picture. I'll try and find it and try and send it to everyone. I had a green Parker on. There's a picture of me standing there with Eric Dyer right in front of me. And it's, I'll try and find it. But when I saw that picture, I thought, yes.
I've actually just gone to his channel to try and find you in the photo.
I don't think you can actually see me in that picture, but I was definitely there.
Then we'll have to watch the documentary all over again.
I bet your heart skipped a beat because he might be a shite footballer, but he's a big unit.
He did, because in hindsight, I know it was ridiculous, but I did think he was coming at me because I'd been staring daggers at the players. I'll try and find it. I've probably got it on my phone.
Well, I'll tell you what, on that premise, let's hope Levy sees me giving him daggers and comes making a beeline for me, because then the world is sorted.
When was it? It was 2018.
I don't want to say 2018. What?
It was the last game before lockdown.
Yeah, I just come back to Canada. I'd actually flown over to England to see my sister give birth to her 5th child. So I came home to meet my niece, and I flew back just before. And I was in the Toronto pub, the Scotland Yard, just before we started going bad lockdown here. And I'll tell you what, when Gedson Fernandez ran out for that penalty and took the penalty that way, I won't even brandish or say what happened with me after that penalty.
There you go. That's me. That's me.
Big up to Enzo. He's here too.
That's me on the left. On the left, in the green Parker. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's the last moment of being at the stadium before lockdown. That was my last moment.
That's crazy.
Was that the last game?
That was the last game.
Last home game. We played Burnley in the league.
Yeah.
Away, and then it went all to put.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Last home game. Yeah. The Norwich Cup defeat. Yeah.
What a way to sound it off, eh? What a way to round it off.
No.
It almost was like a death knell, a portended doom to come, you know.
Well, do you know what made it worse with the Burnley game? And I remember listening to this on TalkSport, and I actually confirmed it with a few mates. This goes to show the timing of Spurs. Obviously, we know it's been awful. But the very second that Burnley scored their goal, that we went 1-0 down to Burnley in that game, Tottenham sent a mass email out to season ticket holders and members saying you have priority tickets for Lady Gaga. And it was the exact second that Burnley scored. Boom! I've got an email from Tottenham. People opened it up. It was like, as a member, start cashing in on your benefits. You have priority tickets to Lady Gaga. It's just like, oh,
imagine you're in the stadium. You just see that goal go in, and then you feel a vibration in your pocket. You take out your phone, and it's email from Tottenham Hotspur Football Club about Lady Gaga. I would have been furious.
That would be what you call a Levy masterclass.
Wait, I actually have a funny story to tell. And not a lot of people have heard it. I'm pretty sure maybe Kieran heard it because I said it in the Irish Hotspur. But not this night, but last night. Before I went to bed, I was listening to the video that Daniel Levy made about when he was saying the apology. That was a very horrible apology. But I was listening because I was writing notes about all the lies he said in that video so I can make a video about it. But and so then I turn off my computer because I have to go to bed. 3 a.m. in the morning, my computer decides to continue playing the video, full volume across the whole house. Daniel Levy talking. We care about the investments in the club. We care about it wakes up the whole house. Daniel Levy, and I was like a nightmare.
Yeah, kid. You got visited by the Daniel Levy's ghost of the past. Oh, all right. That is scary.
Yeah. 3 a.m.
The fact that it's going around the whole house, that's even scarier.
Yeah.
Your bedroom, you're like, okay, I've left my computer on, but the whole house?
Like the whole house can hear it. My house, it's a 2-story house I have, and the top story is not that big. So literally, like the next door is like 2 feet away. So my parents woke up. I woke up. My cousins were sleeping over, so they woke up. Like the whole, and it was just like, we care about the investments that go into club. We put in every penny that comes into this club. It goes back to the club. And
again,
they
must have felt like a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. They probably thought he was having a nightmare, talking in your sleep, doing impressions of Daniel Levy.
You know what? On that note, I'm going to have to leave you, and the reason I'm going to leave you is I want to spend some time. I haven't seen her all weekend, and I'm about to go out and watch the football. I want to give my wife some time, so I need to give my wife some love, and I love her to pieces. And she normally loves this time at the end of the season because there's no football, and then England is coming in. They've got to a final, so I want to stay in the good books because the season starts again shortly. So listen, guys.
Right. The job, good.
The job, fantastic. First week, it's gone really well. It's been really good. And like I said, the great thing about this is two of the biggest investors in this company are the basketballer Steph Curry and Beyonce's manager. Oh, wow. So I'm thinking, right, how can I get to Steph Curry so I can say, listen, do you have any attachments with Nike so I can get to them? And I want to speak to Beyonce's manager, and in her next tours on the live video, I want them to have hashtag Levy out in the corner. So I'm starting the subliminal messaging, so I'm seeing what I can do. But guys, it's always a pleasure seeing everyone and the new people I've met. Shane, a pleasure to find you to be on the stream. Listen, you kid, everyone, I'll see you soon. I will say Levy out, but I want to end it with, It's coming home. It's coming home.
It's
It's
coming
bloody
home.
coming home.
home.
Have a great show, guys. Love you all. Till
All right.
soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Take care.
There you go.
See ya. Nice to see you.
Come on.
Yeah.
Brad,
And Brad,
another.
sorry, Brad, are you still okay? If you need to leave, let me know, huh?
Yeah, I should be getting
All right.
going, but I need to get some
What?
more beer in because I wasn't going to drink yesterday, but I had a couple, so I need to replenish that to take round to my friend's house. So
Okay.
I have some apple juice. I have some apple juice in the fridge.
I've got a new song for you. It's not quite the Clash, but regards to the two people that connected to Brian's company. You could do one about Kane. You know, if you want to keep me, you should have put a cup in it or something like that. Instead of the
I don't know a lot of modern music, I have to say.
All of the single strikers.
I
think maybe that one you get Yitchit to do it.
Yeah, but I
No.
don't listen to them either. When I get in the car, instead of putting some music, I just put Tottenham chants on.
Plus, how are you going to get Harry Kane to dance in high heels?
Oh, come on.
Or would it be the
Break his
same?
ankles.
It might be the same dancers, but just leave his head on it.
No.
Well, I've actually said that if England win, I will record a version of Southgate, You're the One, and Football's Coming Home, which is so
yeah, Brett, do you have a channel yet? Have you started your channel?
not my music channel, no, but I'm actually getting more confidence now to do it because I've now put a couple of songs on YouTube, and all right, they're only sort of covers and that. And the playing's not that brilliant, the singing's not that brilliant, but I haven't had any negative comments, so I'm getting more comments now. And a friend of mine who had his own YouTube channel up, Music One, although it's mainly he was a Harley Christian, it was mainly chants. He said, "No, go for it." He says, "Don't strive for perfection. Get out there as soon as you can, and you with experience you get better." So I've just got to get singing my own words with playing guitar at the same time. That's the problem I have. So once I've got that, then I will put the channel up, and I will definitely tell you guys about it, and I'll tweet it and see what happens. So it's a thing I've just wanted to do. So I'm not intending to make a living out of it. I mean, I'm not going to be
just a hobby.
I'm not going to be playing Glastonbury next year. This new old style.
No. Levy's going to say it. We're going to give you discount on the Brad Matthews tickets for the next Tottenham Stadium.
That would be the ultimate play. I've had this fantasy of playing at Tottenham. Coming on stage and getting the crowd shot, "Come on, you Spurs," and then going into the first.
Levy out.
Brad, you could get your friend to go and play music for Daniel, and just tell him in the office, "Home. Go home. This is not your home. Go home." No. Just tell Levy. No.
Tell Levy.
Just tell Levy. This is not your home. Go home. Go home.
Thanks, Google. All right.
Well, that's been absolutely brilliant. Sorry, Kieran, that I can't be on for a bit longer. It would have been nice to, but
that's okay.
I'm sure
he's only been on for 2 hours. It's fair weather.
About 3 hours last time. My stomach was rumbling last time. So
that's right.
It's been really, really brilliant, and hopefully everyone enjoys the game, and hopefully, for majority of us, we get an England result, and look forward to that, and look forward to Spurs, and hopefully that will go right through as well. So I'm sure I'll see some of you guys again sometime. So it's nice meeting you all. And I'm going to hit the button that says leave studio, so I presume that's the right one.
All right. Okay, Brett, take care. Thanks for coming on.
It's coming home. See you later.
It's coming home.
Yeah. What did you guys make of the end of the... Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've got to say, as an American, and then also being of Scottish and Irish descent, I normally don't want to root for England. But at the same time, as a Spurs fan and as a fan of Harry Kane, I really want this for him today. Just for him. Now, I love all my English friends. I would be happy for you guys being happy, but I really don't care for you guys at all today. It's about Harry Kane. For me,
and Kieran, you want him to score 2 goals, right?
I think he needs to at least get a brace, because I think if he gets like a brace,
he needs a brace.
Then he'll win the Ballon d'Or. So
he needs a minimum brace. He has 4 goals. Ronaldo has 5 goals and assists. So he needs to score 2 goals to win it. Otherwise,
honestly,
and if he wins the Golden Boot, wins the Euros after already winning the Premier League Golden Boot and the Playmaker Award, I mean, it's going to be a hard argument to not give him the Ballon d'Or, and I think he'll really deserve it. I know Messi won his international trophy, but let's be honest, Copa America, it's a great competition. I love watching it every time it comes around, but it's not the Euros. It's just not. It's not the same level. It's mostly a 2-team competition. Every now and then you'll get an odd Chile win or Uruguay win, but for the most part, it's Argentina and Brazil. So I'd really love to see Kane win it today, score a brace at least. A hat trick would be wonderful, and maybe win that Ballon d'Or. That would be amazing. And I think that would go a long way to keeping him here for a while, if we get some progression going over the next season. So,
well, Kieran,
Jamie, you were saying something?
We're on safe ground because I'm Tottenham legacy. I may be English, but I've got Scotch-Irish blood. So I think we're on safe ground here. So even if I'm the only English in the group, you can't hate on me. You just have to love me. You'll have to
I'm English by heart.
Go.
And read out the chat, Jamie.
I thought you was Brazilian. Yeah. My brother-in-law is watching from the Philippines. So Jesse James Malthor. So he's across the city from me. So we've got people watching in the Philippines. So
nice.
Bit by bit, we are spreading across Asia, as is the intent, to get the lily white message across. So first he'll watch, and eventually I've got to convert him to actually following the team, not just following the blog. So
okay, and Shane, you have something to say, Shane?
I'm gonna have to step out. I've got to get a couple of hours sleep before the Euros, so it's already past midnight here. So, it's getting a little bit on for me, so I'm gonna head off and
set your alarm. Make sure you set your alarm.
And give us a prediction, Shane.
I reckon it's going to be really close, and I think it's going to be 2-1 Italy in extra time.
Okay. All right. Take care, Shane. And see you the next time.
Yep. No.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Bye. And Kieran,
so
what about Copa America today?
Sorry.
Did you watch the Copa America today?
Well, unfortunately, I was driving during the time the game was on, so I was actually listening on the radio in my car. So I listened to the whole thing, and immediately after Di Maria scored that first goal, I had to pull over on the side of the road, whip my phone out, and watch the replay, because just the way it was called, I mean, the way he got in behind the defense and the ball came over the top. I mean, you don't expect a Brazilian team to get beat that easily with a long ball over the top. That's rookie defending right there. It's kind of incredible. And I will say, for one thing,
I'd say that Edison was really I've seen this. Edison has a problem of always coming out. We saw it in the UCL final, and he's done it against Liverpool, and he did it against United when McTominay just scored. He always comes out too early. He's over-eager, and the defenders are almost actually caught up with Di Maria, but he just came out too early and the goal was just open, and just Di Maria chipped it. Simple chip.
I think that's part of playing for Pep Guardiola too. I mean, in that system, he's kind of the sweeper keeper. He builds from the back with his feet, and he's supposed to come in and be an extra defender as well as a keeper. And I think Guardiola encourages his keepers to come out. And Ederson physically, he is probably the most talented goalkeeper in the world. in terms of just his physical ability, his athleticism, the way he can jump and dive, but mentally, he's not completely on it. He makes poor decisions. I agree.
Yeah,
That's a great shout. Great shout. Yeah. Another thing I want to say from a Spurs perspective, Giovanni Lo Celso has been incredible that Copa America tournament. He was very, very good.
We can only hope that he brings that to Spurs.
Well, you know, and I've been a big defender of him. I think that, you know, I know certain people want to hear it, but I think that a lot of it for him has been, you know, he has been injured, you know, so he needs to stay fit. I think I really hope that he will. But a lot of the times he has been playing, he hasn't been utilized correctly. He was a number 10 at Betis, and that's where he was best. And for Argentina, he plays out wide. He's not a number 8. He's not a true center midfielder. He's not a box-to-box midfielder. He's either a winger or an attacking midfielder. And we haven't used him that way, and I think that's part of the problem. And people also forget that Jose Mourinho, when he first came in, didn't use Lo Celso at all. He sat on the bench. Yeah. He wasn't interested in using him because he's not a Mourinho archetype midfielder. You have to be big and tough, and you know want to get you know. And the thing is. And the thing is, Lo Celso is a feisty character. I mean, he's Argentinian. They're all like that. They love to get stuck in and get into tackles. But he's not a big guy. He's not physically imposing. So Jose didn't want to use him in midfield. I just think it's all been wrong the way he's been utilized at Spurs. And I think that he has a lot more to offer than what he's shown so far. So hopefully Nuno can bring some of that out of him this season.
Did you see the tackle?
Interesting question because like we have Lo Celso and Ndombele, Højbjerg. All of these are actually really talented footballers, and if we could get the best out of each 3 of them, that's a really good solid midfield. Like if all 3 of them play, when it's like we need another signing, another addition would be good, but at the same time forget Wing Sissoko. I'm not even going to talk about them. I don't have any faith on them. But like these 3, especially Ndombele and Lo Celso who came in just now, like if we can get the best out of them, like it's going to be really good. Like we don't have to focus on the midfield as much if we can just find the perfect position and formation so that all 3 of them can thrive. Because when they have their day, like I remember Ndombele literally threaded his way through Man City's defense. Man City. Like arguably not arguably, right now Premier League champions and the best club in England.
That ball over the top for Son, reset Son. That was just perfect, perfect placement. Yeah, I agree completely with Sunscar. I agree completely. You know, it's really, and again, you know, I don't want to harp on this too much. And I wasn't anti Mourinho. I never called for Mourinho out until we lost the game to Zagreb. That for me was unacceptable, but I actually backed him for the whole time he was here up until that game, and I still disagreed with the fact to sack him 6 days before the cup final. You either sack him after that Zagreb game or you wait till the end of the season, in my opinion. But one thing he really failed to do was utilize these midfielders, Ndombele, Lo Celso, and you know he kept dropping Ndombele deep, playing him as a number 8, playing him, you know, in the double pivot with Højbjerg in a 4-2-3-1. That is not his position. If you're playing a 4-2-3-1, Ndombele needs to be playing in the number 10. And honestly, I think Ndombele was at his best game all season was against Sheffield United when we played a 5-2-3 or a 3-4-3, and he was in the midfield double pivot, just 2 midfielders, him and Højbjerg. Højbjerg was, you know, covering, and he was allowed to advance and then play that number 10 role. And that's I think really his best position is as the second midfielder in a double pivot. You know, when you're playing 3-5 at the back, because that gives him all the space in midfield to operate and do whatever he wants. Because then he can receive the ball on the half turn and carry it forward in transition, which is one of his best traits. But then once he's got into the attacking third, he's got the whole field opened up for him. You know, he's got so much more space to dance and dribble and to pick out a pass. I mean, I think that's his best position. Hopefully Nuno will utilize him more like that. or as a number 10, because playing him as a DM in a 4-2-3-1 is a waste of his talent and potential. And Jose was just too tactically rigid for the entire season in the way he used him. So
yeah, but what did you guys think of now that I heard you say about Winks and Sissoko and Lamela? There was a report coming out recently that said that Levy told them to find another club.
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
Was it Levy or Paratici?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. I do not believe it was Levy. I don't think Levy has the guts to tell anybody in his club. I don't think he has guts to tell the janitor to find another club. Not much a player. Like Levy, he just falls in love with a player and he doesn't let them go. Like he gets attracted, and like when you buy a puppy and you give it a name, and then when you gotta let it go, you don't want to let it go. That's Levy with his Deadwood.
I mean, he hasn't even fired anybody from the PR team, and we've probably got the worst social media / PR team in the Premier League. I mean, it's. I don't know if you can't. Yeah, I agree completely, kid. Definitely Paratici, and all I know is I hope that Paratici has the purview, as the authority to decide which players are sold. I understand that Levy is still going to have to make that final agreement on purchases, saying Levy will set the budget for Paratici to spend, and I'm sure with big purchases especially, he'll have to do the final sign off on the deal. But at the very least, what he needs to do is allow Paratici to just choose who leaves, who gets sold.
Yeah. And Kieran, though, I don't know, like next season, when Nuno is picking his formations, I don't want to see Levy having breakfast with Nuno, sticking his finger in his food, saying, "You should start Eric Dyer, you should start Eric Winks, class players." Absolutely class.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Oh well, I don't think we'll see that, because All or Nothing is down the road with the scum this season. So instead, we get to watch Pep's Cone Boy and all his creative different cone formations that he sets out on the pitch to direct players in different ways, just so they can send another useless cross into the box. It's going to be great. I'm so ready for All or Nothing Arsenal. Oh my god!
I want to see Arsenal celebrating a 1-1 draw with Fulham.
Do you think that's
Aubameyang doing a backflip?
Yeah, I mean,
I do think
it's such a joke. I mean, we have to realize we're in a bad place, but Arsenal is just a joke, man. They're just a joke. I mean, giving Willian like 200,000 a week. Are you kidding me? I mean, they give Aubameyang that big extension, and he just drops off the map. At least our so-called star players, Kane, Son, Højbjerg, Lloris, at least they perform. We may have a ton of deadwood, but at least our star players are actually stars and are actually good.
I honestly don't understand how there's still a comparison to Kane and Aubameyang. I don't think there still is. I have people telling me that Aubameyang is better than Kane in his all career. He says that he's better. Aubameyang is better than Kane.
It's diluted.
They're just the people who play FIFA, and they just because Aubameyang has amazing pace, and they're just like, oh yeah, Aubameyang has pace. Does Kane has pace? No, so that's why he's better.
It's not even Gunners that have told me. It's not even Gunners that have told me. I've had Chelsea fans and Man City fans. Wow. My dad that have told me that Aubameyang is better than Kane. And remember when they did that party, when they got Party and they did that little dance? Party didn't. I don't remember him having one good game where you could see that's a player. That's a class player right there. And they did a whole. I mean, they should have gave free tickets to see the Party dance, because to the ticket contenders from the Spurs membership, because I mean, now we're being linked to Kiet. I forgot the name of the guy from Milan, AC Milan. He's very similar to Partey, and I don't want to see us coming.
Frank Kessie.
Yeah, Kessie. Now we're gonna come out and do that dance.
I don't think he's coming.
I don't think we need him either.
We don't. He's not the. I don't think he's the type of midfielder we need. I think the transfer fee is too high, and I also think he's going to just go ahead and re-sign with Milan. So, I mean. You can check this out in my transfer targets video, which
Yes.
will drop later today. I actually talk about Kessie as well as the midfielder that I think we should bring in instead, which is Marcel Sabitzer from RB Leipzig.
Well, send the link in the private chat. Send the link in the private chat.
I already put it.
For me, it's right. I think any player above 20 million pounds is out of our reach. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like Sabitzer isn't actually that expensive, and we were so. I literally like 3 months ago we were so interested, and like we were literally just on the verge of like as soon as this window's over, summer's over, season's over, we're gonna sign him. But suddenly it's just talks dried up. Like it's just vanished. All the links just vanished.
No, I still think we should go for him because unlike Stick, who I'm not convinced is going to be same form in the season, I think Sabitzer is a better league player than a championship player. So I think that hopefully his price will have dropped because they didn't get as far in the tournament as maybe hoped for, and then Paratici can shut Levy up for enough time for us to sign him.
But in the end of the day, like you said, the way that let's see how this Tomiyasu deal is going. Because I think Bologna wants about 22 million or 21 million. But somehow Levy doesn't want to get there, you see. And it has to be done before the Olympics. If you don't do it before the Olympics, and if he performs really well there,
or he gets injured,
it's going to go up. Or he gets injured, yeah. But unless they say they're going to wait after the Olympics, which is too late.
Yeah.
It'll be too late, right?
Another point I wanted to raise was like a certain aspect of Nuno, which was completely missing in Jose was his man management. Like I read an interview by Alistair Gold, which was conducted with Doherty, and Doherty really emphasized on the fact that like Nuno likes to go to each of his players and give them personal advice, and he's a really good man manager, and that's really needed when you have players like Bergwijn who are developing and they're not even close to their prime yet, and like. It just irritated me so much that like after the Liverpool game, he completely just froze out Bergwijn. He did miss a chance, like he hit the post, but that doesn't mean you just completely freeze him out. And like when it's a young player like that, a young player in a different country, you have to help nurture him and then like improve him because he's a really good talent. And like on the right, as compared to Moura, Bergwijn has a really good potential, and we should really focus on developing him.
Well, I agree completely, and I think this is the thing is that, and this is what I said, you know, when Jose was announced as manager after Pochettino was fired, I was like, I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time, but he's not the right manager for Tottenham, and I knew it would end the way it did because I knew he wouldn't be backed properly. It's very simple. You bring in a manager like Jose Mourinho, you need to spend big money for experienced, veteran, world-class talent. He is not a youth developing manager. It's not his talent, never has been. He's the guy who comes in, spends a load of money, gets in established players, and wins you trophies. And we didn't do that. We didn't buy the players necessary to create that team. And you know, I don't blame Jose so much as he was just doing what he's always done, and we should have expected this. It's Daniel Levy again. It always comes back to him. It's his fault. He should have known that this was the case with Jose. He should have known that developing young talent has never been his strong suit or his focus as a manager. And I mean, I think you can see it already just from the videos we've seen from the training ground. Nuno is on the training ground right in the midst of all the training sessions going on, you know, talking to players, commenting on different things, giving them advice. That's the kind of stuff we need at Tottenham because, I mean, we're a club that develops young talent. That's what we like to do. We like to buy young. We like to bring players up from the academy. We need a coach like that. And, you know, I think it's going to be really important for a lot of members of the squad. And Steven Bergwijn is one of them. Absolutely.
Yeah. But so go ahead, you kid.
I was just gonna say that there's an episode on Netflix about Jose Mourinho, and like
Netflix?
his tactics. Yeah, Netflix of his tactics. It was like this show about coaches and their strategies. And he said once when he was coaching Madrid, he coaches Madrid. He doesn't teach Ronaldo how to do free kicks. He teaches a team how to do it and all. He doesn't coach a player. He just coaches the team. That's where I think Jose fell through.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how Jose plays his coaching scenario, is that he doesn't coach them, he manages them. That's
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link to the Netflix show.
So I think the case is that if we were going to bring Jose in as a manager and we knew we weren't going to spend the money, then we should have had somebody as a part of his staff who was going to be that coach, who was going. One of his assistants should have been the more hands-on, player-focused guy to kind of offset that. But we didn't do it. We just let him bring in his staff, and and I think that was one of the main contentions from the players with Jose was João Sacramento. They did, from what I've read, and Alistair Gold has talked about this a lot, is that one of the reasons the Jose kind of lost a lot of the locker room was because players didn't get on with João Sacramento, especially towards the later end of the season.
In the end of the day, I think what happened is very simple, is that I think Jose just used Spurs as a stepping stone to come back out into the market. That's all. Yeah. And when he joined Spurs, right? You remember he said in the interview, right? He was not given the things that he was promised. So, and he felt disappointed too. So, and especially when you're in that kind of situation and you just let everything rot to the end. But the scary part now is that if you got Nuno coming in, and Nuno is here to do a job, right? To try to revive back the confidence that's been lost in the players, the fitness that's been lost in the players that's the past 18 months under Jose. And the scary part now is that which players are supposed to go, because we know that we need to let a lot of players go, but which are the ones is going to go and which will be allowed to go, because the way the market is going, it's going to be a very soft market for the sellers because of the COVID and all that. Money is going to be tight. Okay. In the end of the day, will Levy let the players go at that lower price? What do you all think?
I think he's gonna go want the best price. It's typical Levy. If he doesn't get the price that he wants, he's just gonna say no. And it's what he can do. I hope Paratici just comes in and tells him that player's useless. And it's like if you have stuff here in your house and you never use, you never touch, so you do a garage sale to sell them, and then they offer you $5, you want $7, but you know you're never gonna use it. So what's the point of even having it?
Exactly.
So you sell it for $5. It's like, it doesn't matter. Go on, Jamie.
No, I agree with you. He's going to hold out to the last minute and then he'll crumble for a smaller price.
Like the deciding factor will be the battle between Paratici and Levy, and who wins that. Like, who can convince the other.
But what I don't understand is, why is there a battle? Why can't you just work together? Like, people that work
No. But the problem is that, will he accept the lower price? That's the sad thing. Because you see, like now, Moussa Sissoko, right, was linked to Napoli earlier for 30 million euros or pounds or something like that, right? Then the deal fell through because the price was too high. But somehow or another, Moussa Sissoko is now re-linked back to Napoli again. You see? Is it because of Paratici doing his magic to bring the price to an acceptable level between two parties? Because I guess he has to do that. He has to negotiate with Levy and Napoli, right, to get the in-between price that whatever Levy wants.
And I think yes, and I think this is something that I have said many times, and I get a lot of pushback on it. And I say that Daniel Levy, the people always talk about the business side of the club, this, that, and the other, that he's an amazing businessman. He's not. He's just not. And it's been proven time and time again. He went over budget with the stadium. He went over budget on the training facilities. He's constantly shelling out more and more for things that are not necessary to the operation of the club, or don't bring in the same revenue that, they don't bring in sufficient revenue for what you're investing. And then when it comes to the things that do bring in revenue, he never wants to invest sufficiently. And the big thing here is with these prices of selling players, it's amazing to me that if he's such a great businessman, at this point, he still doesn't understand how depreciation of assets works in football. because these players are just that. They're assets. And as they age, they depreciate. And that's the thing. I mean, and he doesn't seem to understand that. It's not tough negotiating when you're being unrealistic about how an asset has depreciated. At that point, you're just signaling to the other party that you don't know what you're doing.
See, Kieran, the thing is that, right, every time some project goes over budget, right, there must be some reason behind it, okay? Our stadium was over budget by £600 million.
Yes.
No, you're not talking £6 million over budget.
That's not an oversight, exactly.
You're talking about £600 million. Okay, then we invested badly in players of nearly £230 to £250 million, right? So when you talk about big money like that, right, if you think deep down inside, somebody's getting a cut somewhere. I'm sure. Every time when there's a big project, somebody's getting a cut somewhere. It's how the world works nowadays. I'm not going to go and do a big project just to do a big project for nothing, right? I have to make something out of it, whether it's personally or through cronies or whatever. So the problem is that in the end of the day, nobody has held him accountable for all his actions. That is the problem.
Absolutely. And like you've touched on before, Eugene, he finished the stadium late, over budget by an extraordinary amount, and then what did he do? He gave himself a bonus. He didn't even come close to meeting his targets, and he rewards himself for it. It's amazing. I agree completely. And
that's why sometimes I'm very why are some of the fans are so blinded by this thing,
because
is that
they don't do the research. They don't do the research.
Even you don't have to do the research. He admitted on the program of the last day of the home match, the Aston Villa match, he came up with a program and he admitted that they misspent £250 million on players. Correct? My question is that why didn't fans just come and say that? Who is accountable for that?
Also, that 250 million number isn't even accurate. That's a gross spend. It's not a net spend, because we sold players as well to make up for a lot of that.
That's why
that was another smoke screen, just diverted from the big problem.
But that 250 million that is put into the books, right? In actual cash, how much have you actually misspent? We do not know. But the actual wherever that the money went, right? We do not know. That's why it comes down to the second thing is that why do we have a super agent now in our background?
Exactly. I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was another thing I was going to touch on. Daniel Levy, brilliant businessman, right? So why did he go out and pay £15 million for a 29-year-old Matt Doherty?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so granted, and I will give him this, Matt Doherty was the second best fullback in the Premier League for 2 years in a row in terms of goal contributions, right? Yes, okay. But where did Matt Doherty come from? Wolves bought Matt Doherty from the League of Ireland for like £300,000.
Yeah.
300,000. So it was 15 million of straight profit on a near 30-year-old player. And as a fullback, you can't play into your mid to late 30s in the Premier League. So he's got maybe 2-3 years at this level. And after last season and how he performed last season, who knows if he even has that? Yeah, great businessman, though. Yeah.
And now we have Nuno as the manager. Don't forget that part too.
Exactly. Nuno and Paratici, who have both got links to Mendes. So it's amazing to me, because you'd think Daniel Levy, he's so frugal, he's such a tough negotiator, he wouldn't want those kind of links to the club. He wouldn't want to be linked with a guy like Mendes because of what it could mean in terms of sacrificing some of our financial independence, our financial autonomy in the transfer market, hamstringing ourselves to get certain targets that may or may not work out.
And then don't forget his apology video that he made, right? He keeps saying that the club doesn't have money. The club doesn't have money. The club doesn't have money. That's all. That's why I keep saying. Maybe why he bought Doherty was because he was under 20 million.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's great, but what I mean, if he is if we don't have money and we're trying to be frugal in our transfer business, then the answer is not to spend $15 million on 29-year-old Matt Doherty. It's to go spend 9, 10, 11 on a young up and coming fullback from the championship. I mean, we could have Matty Cash at Aston Villa. We could have had him 2 years ago for like £8 million.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and I think you can just look how he did last season. He's a much better right back than Matt Doherty is. So,
but somehow another last season he pulled the veil over all of our eyes because in the last 2 weeks or 1 week of the transfer window, he brought in Bale and he brought in Reguilon. Right? That somehow another made the fans happy. So. And actually, I think those two signings, right? I think Reguilon maybe made Jose happy, but Bale didn't. Because Jose always wanted a strong centre-back.
Yeah.
Not Bale. But I understand. Bale gave us goals in the end, right? But for Mourinho's system is to defend first. That's why you hardly ever see Bale play.
Well, you know why we didn't go buy a center back, and you know why we wouldn't meet the extremely reduced price that we were quoted for Milan Skriniar. I mean, we always joke about Hitchen going to Milan for get a cup of coffee, go shopping, and everything, and he screws up the deal. Well, I mean, the reason we didn't pay out for him, is because we had already given Eric Dyer a 3-year contract extension earlier in the summer.
Why did we do that?
Eric Dyer, a 3-year extension. Why is he still at the club? I'm sorry. I know he had an illness and that's not football related, and it wasn't his fault that he couldn't play for almost 2 seasons. But before that, he had been basically frozen out of the squad by Pochettino before he fell ill. He shouldn't be here. These players should not be here. We need to stop giving 4- and 5-year contracts, period, for any player that's over 21 years old. If you're over 21 years old, you shouldn't come in on anything more than a 3-year contract. And these players, once they reach 26, 27, if they're not like cemented starting 11 players, they need to be moved on. You don't keep squad players of this age. You don't. You recycle them. And it's not just a big club thing. I'm not talking. We don't need to be like Chelsea, where if you're not performing, you're immediately sold. We don't need to be like that. We can have squad players that are veterans, but they can't be here for 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
They need to be rotated. They need to be moved on. And if they're not performing, then we need to bring the youth players up and play them in their place. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing what goes on.
Coincidentally, though, right after that great transfer window that you guys are talking about, the Amazon documentary came out. And before, right when you see him walking and you see the introduction to Daniel Levy, he's like, "Oh, I've run many businesses. Running a football club is the hardest business I've ever run." That's like me. I'm saying an apology, like my excuse to my parents for failing a math test. Like it's just the most useless excuse. If you don't want to run the business, then don't run the business. Sell the club. We'll be happy for you to sell the club.
He doesn't even have to sell the club. He just have to step aside and appoint someone who wants to run the business.
And this is the point I was making with the depreciating assets. He has run many businesses. What are the businesses he has run? Jewelry, luxury items, and land. Assets that on the whole do not depreciate and do not depreciate nearly as rapidly as players do. Yeah. As football players.
I thought he was a dumpster diver because you could see a lot that he loves crap.
Well, that's
and
the thing.
And he wants to keep it. And he wants to keep it all the time.
He does not understand how a player's value depreciates over time with age and lack of performance. He just doesn't understand that concept because every business he's ever dealt in, all the assets he spends money on, everything he procures, he does knowing ahead of time that it's only going to increase in value and that he can take steps to increase its value. You can't take steps to increase a player's value beyond coaching. That's all you can do.
That's why during the end of the Mourinho era, right? Okay, when Mason stepped in, right? All the players that Mourinho didn't play, right, started to play. Because a player's value goes up if they play. You get what I'm saying? If they don't play and if they don't perform, your value either depreciates or it stagnates, correct? If you play and you perform, your value goes up. 2 years ago, Dele Alli was worth nearly 80 million pounds, correct?
Yeah.
Now, nobody's going to touch him with 40.
Yeah. I wouldn't pay a penny for him if I was an owner of a football club. Not even a penny.
But the thing is that he does have his talents inside. Talents don't disappear. It's just how you're going to bring it out. That's why Nuno was brought in. Okay, Nuno is now being brought in, right, on the idea that most probably he can revive the Deadwood, right? Then when a January transfer comes along, he can offload a few of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but Eugene, you look at it.
But during now, we're talking about now. Have we seen anybody that's been offload that's been playing with the last year's squad? No, those have been offload. Have been what? Foyt was on loan playing for Villarreal.
And look at Carter Vickers. Look at Carter Vickers.
Cameron Carter Vickers, right?
He's been in the club for like 9 years.
Yeah, and they don't want to sell him. So,
well, to be fair, Carter Vickers is he's only what 22, 23 years old.
Yeah, but with all the clubs that we've loaned them to, it looks like he'd be like 30 years old with all the years.
We're not using him and we're not selling him. What are we doing with him? We're just keeping on loaning him. What's the point of that?
I think he'll be sold this summer. I think Bournemouth will come with an offer.
But
I think the whole point was trying to find him the playing time on loan, so where he would entice a good enough offer. Yeah, I mean, he's an academy player, so it costs us nothing to keep him here. He's not making much, and
but okay, Kieran, I'll give you an example.
Didn't pay anything for him, so I agree. I agree what you're saying. Like he probably should have already been moved on, but I think honestly it might work out better the fact that he has been here this long, simply because his loan with Bournemouth was so successful that I think it'll increase his value. Because if you remember before, his last loan was in League One with Luton, and so just being able to step up for him, get a season at the Championship, start a lot of games, perform well, we'll get more of a transfer fee for him, and it's essentially free money.
But the problem I see is, right, it's the mentality that's wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
You put the players out for loan, right? It's either you're putting that player out for loan for sale, or you're putting out the player for a loan, right, to improve him, to bring him back into the first team. You see, they are getting that confused at the moment, correct? Yeah. You remember, Harry Kane went out for 11 loans before he actually played for the first team, right? If Tim Sherwood didn't give Harry his chance, right? And when Poch came in and gave him the continuance of that chance, right? Most probably Harry Kane will be still on loan somewhere else, or maybe sold. Think about it. You see, that's what is wrong with maybe the culture of our transfer dealings are, that we don't focus on whether we are doing this to improve our player, bring them back in to play for us, or to improve our player and sell them. You know what Chelsea does? Chelsea goes out and buy all the youngsters at the age of 15, 16 years old, bring them back to the academy. They bring them in at such a young age, right? Once they reach 18, they sign the contract, right? Loan. They loan all of them out, correct? Mm-hmm. And when the time comes for them to sell them, they sell them, right? Mm-hmm. They sell them like one player 10, one player 10.
Us too. The players that flunk out of their academy always end up in our academy.
To whoever. But you see, if you bring in 50 youth players, right, you loan 20 or 30 of them out, right? And if each of them can get you 50 to 10 million pounds, right? How much is that? You can go and buy a Haaland for all you can say with that kind of money.
Yeah. Eugene.
Yeah.
Eugene. Daniel has to leave us for now, so
okay.
let's send him off with our best wishes and continue.
Daniel, give us your plug in and all that.
Well, you guys can find me at the Yid Kid on YouTube, on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram. I've been doing podcasts on every day now. Monday I bring on guests. Hopefully I can bring on Kieran anytime soon.
I would be very happy to come on. I love that. Thank you.
Yes, Sanskar, I think the time that I do the podcast though, it might be like way too late for you. So Eugene,
honestly, for me, later is usually better because I'm usually busy during the day. So
yeah. But I'm also Eugene. The next podcast is going to be really big because David Harrison agreed to come on the Irish Hotspur. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. for him. So the fact that he would wake up for that, massive one tomorrow. But if you could subscribe, it means a lot to me. Recently we smashed the 200 goal. 200 subscribers goal. Now we're gonna go to 250. Right now, I think we're at 238. Like right now, but
awesome.
Daniel, you have to think bigger. You have a you
need to think bigger.
you need to think bigger. Your future is more than a couple of hundred. So just
let's get 1 million.
Yes.
You've got to think like that. You've got to say, I'm never going to stop until I hit 1 million, or whatever. But don't start making the gaps between goals a bit bigger, so it's not always like party. 50 more. Party.
No, there is no reason. There is no reason that the kid should not have more subscribers than George Achillia. Okay, because this guy's channel, listening to him talk is way more interesting than watching George Achillia unbox the latest Spurs training kit that he got for free from the club. I know.
I love George Achillia. I love George Achillia.
Yeah, but you're better, man. I'm telling you. You deserve more subscribers. Go smash the subscribe on this.
Who is George Achillia?
You don't know what George Achillia is, Eugene? Oh my God.
No.
He's like, I think it's him and Expressions. I don't know who has more subscribers, but they're the two biggest, along with We Are Tottenham TV. Those are like the three biggest Spurs channels. Is Expressions, We Are Tottenham TV, and then
I've heard of his name before, but I've not gone onto his channel before.
George Achillia is the fashionista, Expressions is the comedian, and Mr. Cowlin is the official line.
The journalist. Quote unquote.
Pseudo.
George Achillia has now 69K subscribers.
Oh, that's good. At least We Are Tottenham TV has more because they.
And Expressions has way more. Expressions has way more. He has 195K.
Yeah. Expressions gets a lot of non-Spurs viewers. A lot of just general football fans. Everybody loves him. So.
And we want you to get up there. I mean, 1 million may be a way off, but we want you to get up there. We want you to be the fruit born from the Will Rance, factory.
Actually, you started off calling on We Are Tottenham TV, right, Daniel? Was that where you started with you?
No, the first ever stream I've joined is Premier Hotspur TV.
Oh, Simon.
Nice. It was actually the Zagreb game. Right after the Zagreb game,
I really?
Because I've always been that type of person that like goes in the chat and says stuff. But after that game, I was like, I can't anymore. I was running red through my veins. I had to say something. So I just went over there.
It should be red through your veins. If it's green, then you're the Incredible Hulk.
But that's how Tottenham makes me feel. That's when I hear that we're interested in some non-known managers. But thank you guys so much for letting me come on.
Okay,
take care. I think I've been on all your shows. Eugene, I think I've been on. This is the 6th show that I come on. It's the 6th show that's been on your channel.
Yeah.
So
go and have some more cereal.
Yeah,
Yidkid,
make Jamie envious of the cereals that you have.
I'll send you a few pictures.
Yidkid, are you on Twitter? Do you have a Twitter account?
Yeah, I do have a Twitter account.
Okay, I'll follow you. You can Spursic at Tottenhamitis, like ITIS. If you want to hit me up and we can arrange something or something like that, come on your channel, come on mine.
Are you trying to cause another pandemic, Kieran?
Unfortunately, I'm like 12 hours away from him. You're in Florida, right, Yidkid?
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia. I'm actually originally from Florida, but I live in Virginia now. So
yeah, same
I'm
time
like 12
zone.
hours away. same time zone, but it's a long drive. It's a long drive down one of the worst interstates in the United States. So
I-95.
Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you guys so much for allowing me to come on. I love being on this channel.
All right.
See you on the next one, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Enoch out.
Come on, it's coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah.
Nice kid.
Okay.
Yeah. So how's it been going, Kieran?
The channel?
The channel, yes, and things over on your side.
Yeah, I mean, so I released my first video the day that Nuno was announced. It was funny because I actually had just uploaded it, and then 30 minutes later they officially announced him. So, I mean, everything I said in the video was still pretty relevant because I had already assumed by that point he was going to be announced soon. So I released that, and today we'll have I'll be uploading my second video, which is like a transfer target roundup, and hopefully soon I can start doing some live streams and get some guests on. But yeah.
Have you signed up the stream yet?
I haven't yet, but I plan to soon. I'm actually in the process of moving. So I'll be. So I was gonna wait till I move into my new house so I can then get everything set up and ready to stream and everything. Yeah. So in the meantime, I'm just recording videos.
So where are you moving to? What? Because I've been through Virginia. So I used to have a girlfriend in Baltimore. So.
Oh. Yeah, Baltimore's a rough place, man. I try to avoid going there as much as possible.
No, the harbor side's okay, and it's got a couple of nice restaurants. Yeah. But then you've got the absolute, take duck and cover area between the baseball stadium and the downtown.
It some parts of that city look like it's an active war zone. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but I mean, Baltimore can be fun though. It can be a little risky, a little dangerous, but a night on the town in Baltimore can get pretty wild. So yeah, it's a cool place. But yeah, I live about an hour-ish outside of DC, in a slightly more rural area, and I'm actually moving even farther west out into the Blue Ridge Mountains, like Shenandoah Valley area.
Oh, so
there's a sound.
So this is going to
West Virginia.
Have you heard it? Was it Hagerstown?
Hagerstown in Maryland? Yeah, I've been up there a few times.
Yeah, it's a retail
some good shopping up there. Yeah.
Yeah, but also West Virginia, they've got quite a decent college football team.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I grew up a Notre Dame fan, so that's. The college
Rudy.
Yeah, yep, Rudy. Yeah, that's the team I've always supported. Yeah, so but it's funny because my stepfather is a crazy big West Virginia fan. So
okay, yeah. And Sanskar, so how do you feel? Are you watching the match tonight?
Yeah, of course. Can't miss it for the world. I'm really waiting for it, especially after England. I just can't wait to see the reaction if England wins.
And to tell the truth, right, we should be very lucky to see England in a final after 55 years, right?
Yes.
Let's hope it turns out to be a good result. Yeah. And okay, there has been a saying out there, right? Will Harry Kane perform? What do you guys think?
I just think they've all got, whether it be Harry Kane performing, all of them, they've just got to keep their heads. They can't listen to the coming home rhetoric, and they have to make sure that they do not panic. They've just got to play they've just got to play their game, and they've not got to start looking past the immediate action.
Kane should perform. He's right now, especially thank God he got his form back in the knockout stages. I believe that now, at this stage, he's not gonna let his country down. We know how much it means to him, especially considering the chance he has now, and to do it on this stage, because a lot of players, even Messi, when even after winning the UCL, he always said that up until now, his best achievement, his best trophy was always the Olympic gold medal with Argentina. And I think it's the same for all the players. So like for Kane, winning the Euros is going to be such a significant, being the captain of the winning the Euros and winning the first major tournament after 55 years, he's just going to do everything. And he knows that today is a day he cannot afford to let it down. He has to go out and like it's for him and for his country, and he has to go out and do his best. Yeah. So I believe that Kane's going to score today.
And I've asked this question very, very early before, right? When Kane came out with his trophy thing in the interview with Gary Neville, I've asked this question. The only chance for Kane to get hands on the Team Cup will be the Euros. And if he gets the Team Cup in the Euros, would he at least give Spurs one more chance?
I believe like make him content. Like right now he was in a really bad situation, but like winning this would give him a satisfaction. He'll go for a holiday, nice long holiday, and he'll come back and then he'll have the talk with Nuno. And I'm pretty sure what Nuno is going to tell him is just to give him 1 year. Like 1 year, and then if they don't manage to do it, if they don't bounce back, don't get into the Champions League, like Kane's gonna go. Like Kane, he isn't pushing for a transfer, but if another year goes by and Spurs don't make significant progress, he's gonna hand in the request and he's gonna make sure it happens, just like Bale did when Bale wanted to leave. He literally told his teammates he's not playing for Spurs anymore. He's going to get his move. So if he gives us another year, we should be eternally grateful for him, because not a lot of people in his position would do that. And if he does, we should make full use of it and do what we can.
I agree completely, and I think we should already be eternally grateful too for everything he's already done for us. The fact that he stayed stuck with us this long, it's obvious. Last summer he wasn't going to be able to get his move because of the COVID situation, the damper that put on the transfer market. So I guess maybe he didn't really have a choice, but. Yeah, I hope so. I hope that, if you watch that Gary Neville interview, he said that, playing for England and winning a championship with England would mean more to him than winning it at club level. He said that the most important thing for him in his career right now is being the England captain. And the fact that he values that so much, I think if he does win that trophy, I think it will cause him to, have a little more patience. And again, he already said in that interview, he said, and I quote, "I'm not in a rush. I'm in no hurry." He said, I think I have another 6-7 years at this level in my career. And honestly, as a striker of his ability, barring any horrific injuries, he probably does. He can probably play at this level at least as long as Olivier Giroud has.
4 years,
Yeah. True. I mean, he's just now going to be leaving, the Premier League, leaving Chelsea, and he's 35, 36 years old. So, I think yes, if Kane wins the Euros today, then I think it'll ensure that he'll at least be here for next season. But I already thought that was going to be the case anyway, because I just don't see Manchester City meeting Daniel Levy's price.
Yeah, true.
But I just want one question. Just one question, I want to hear the answer from all of you. If England win the Euros and City come in and offer either of the two, either 150 million or around 120 million plus one or two players, should Levy take it?
Oh, if City gives 150 million upfront cash, right? Levy would drive Kane to M-City himself.
No, he would have his driver take Kane while he sits in the back of the limo just chatting his ear off. That's it. He won't drive the car himself.
Levy will tie Kane up and put him in the booth and drive him there. Even Kane wants to stay. You're going.
Look, I mean, I think.
Hold on. Jamie, what new updates have you on the England team?
Okay. 8 minutes ago.
Hassan was right.
Yeah, 8 minutes ago, Sky Sports News can confirm reports Kieran Trippier will be recalled to the England starting 11 for the final, playing right back in a back five. England 11, Pickford, Shaw, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Trippier, Rice, Phillips, Mount, Kane and Sterling. Bukayo Saka is the man to miss out, with the Arsenal attacker dropping out and Mason Mount playing in a front three with Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling.
Oh, that means they're going more defensive.
I think that's the right approach against this Italy front three that has just been ruthless. I really think this is the right approach. I really, the only problem I have with this is I really think that Saka
Wayne's right completely.
should be
but
starting.
that could be a good plan. You know why? Because if Southgate plays this way, right, when the time comes to nearly 60 to 75 minutes time between that period, right, he starts doing his substitutions, right? That's when he re-changes the dynamic of the squad, and he can go all out attack the Italians when they are at their they've been playing so many games down the road. I mean, too many long games down the road, correct?
Yeah.
And they might tire it out, and he's going to use Grealish and Saka to overrun them. That's
exactly.
What I
see. Yeah, that's a very good point. Wait until around the 70th minute. Chiellini and Bonucci are world class, but they're also not known for their pace. Yep. And you get that far into the game, the legs start getting a little tired. And you bring on the creativity and guile of Grealish and the pace and agility of Saka, and it's going to be hard for them to contend with. I think,
guys, it's 4 hours away, so we still do not know because the match lineup will come 1 hour before.
I think the big thing for
the 3 hour mark on our chat.
I think the big thing for England is they have to progress the ball down their right hand side. They have to get it down their right hand side. They don't have Spinazzola; he's out injured. Target that left back position.
Emerson should be there, right?
Yeah, and just throw stuff at it. I mean, we know we've seen him play enough. We know what kind of player he is.
But that has has to be in a scenario that we cannot be about 2 goals down before he changes that. Yeah. If he's still holding at 0-0 until about 60 to 75 minutes, that's when he makes his changes to an all-out attack Italy, right? All the way until 120 minutes if he has to do it. You see?
It's going to be a slow match. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a slow match. It's not going to be like the goals galore. It's going to be a slow maximum in our first half. Someone gets ahead. Like until the end, it's not actually going to pick up intensity because I don't think even Italy, like against Spain, they were actually put up a low block and they weren't that risky as they were in the previous matches. And I think because it's a final, they will be more attacking than England. But at the same time, both teams are going to proceed with caution. And if we're not, it won't be like a full attack game.
Yeah. Okay.
I think though.
Hold on, Kieran. Just hold on. Question from Wayne Bonner. All right. Will Southgate make a straight subs or tactical and formation subs? Right. That's what we've been talking about just now. With all the news coming out, I mean, these are just news coming out from these media of what Southgate is going to play, but we don't know yet what is he actually going to play because it's the second one, right? Is it the same with the Sun?
I don't know. The Sun is
I remember it's like it was the same formation as far as I remember, which Jamie showed.
But different players.
No. There was a different front line.
Okay.
But either way, I think that I would like Southgate to take a leaf out of the Denmark coach's book, because their formation was constantly changing. So I hope that he's able to be fluid enough to be adaptable to whatever Italy starts throwing at us.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he should be. I think he's shown that throughout this tournament, and I think the great thing is that the variety of players and different archetypes he has of players in that squad gives him that tactical versatility. Yeah, I mean, and you look at the players that are rumored to start the game, Shaw, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Trippier, that back five, that gives you a lot. You can do a lot with that. You can drop a center back, bring in another attacking player or a midfielder. You can honestly, what I think he might do is if it gets late in the game, like we're talking about, he's going to drop his center back and he'll drop either one of Phillips or Rice, and he'll bring Mount back into midfield and put on another midfielder and either Grealish
Henderson,
or Bronco.
though.
Yeah, I think that we might see that. Those might be his first two subs, Henderson and Grealish for probably Phillips and one of the center backs. I think, yeah, it's just or one of the right backs. You could take Trippier off and kick Walker out to right back in a flat four. Yeah. There's just so much he can do to chop and change mid-game and affect the game
with the initial formation. Do you think this is a formation that says let's weather the initial storm from Italy? If they come all guns blazing, hold, and then counter. Once we've taken some of the steam out of their momentum.
I think that's exactly what it is. If you're playing a back five, the big thing for this game is we already know this. What's the main battle in this game? It's the midfield. And I think by playing a back five, you can comfortably cede the midfield to Italy, allow them to advance while you can also hold up their wingers from getting forward and cutting inside from out wide, like they like to do. Chiesa and Insigne, they like to come from out wide, cut inside, and get into the box. And with you have those wing backs that can press them as soon as they cross midfield, slow down their runs, and then you have the outside center backs to deal with them once they come in towards the box.
I want to be confident, but for some reason in the last half an hour or so, when start to see the footage of the crowds outside the stadium, and we're seeing the team list, I'm starting to get some butterflies. I'm starting to get the
pressure.
The England Tottenham,
my friend,
tightness of chest.
My friend, you guys listen. You guys got to take. I know you hate doing this because we originated from you and whatnot. But you English today, you got to take a page out of the American playbook. You got to take a page from that, and that's called blind. That's called blind. No. That's called blind confidence. Just complete delusional confidence. Just believe that it doesn't matter anything. We're going to win. We're going to do it. I don't want to hear stats. I don't want to hear the history. It's today. We're going to win. Yeah. We're going to do it.
It doesn't matter who you play, right?
What you're saying is that with the English have got to do USA.
Exactly.
USA.
But but instead it's more like England. Yeah.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Okay, guys. We've been doing this for more than 3 hours already. I think we better end the stream. We can go back into the back room and chat some more if you guys want. No problem. But first, just do your plug outs for Kieran first. How do we find you?
Your plug outs? Your plugs.
Plugins. Plug outs. Luckily, I didn't say another bad word, right?
No comment.
How can we find you, Kieran?
So you guys can find me at Spurs Sick on YouTube. That's my channel. Like I said, I'll have another video out later today on Tottenham's transfer targets. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at Tottenhamitis, Tottenham ITIS. And you can follow me there and get updates about the show and just see my other rants and takes on various things around the world of football. And thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Well, make sure it's not the last time. You need to be a repeat, a repeat panelist.
Yeah. And Sanskar, nice to have you here.
Yeah.
And how can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sanskar_Das, or you can find me on Twitter at FCSanskar. So be sure again, it's been a great session, just like last week, and I'm ready whenever because just love talking about this club and love hating on Levy.
Okay, guys.
Follow you now.
Send our respect to Soham and the crew. So
yeah, definitely.
Keep them all encouraged. And Goguma, thank you for being our loyal supporter. And Mr. Bonner, we want you on the channel too. So
when Mr. Bonner be free. Yeah, and I'll just get you off first, and we'll do our outros with Jamie, and I'll see you in the back room. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Jamie. Another 3 hours. I guess it's another good stream. We had a lot of things going on, and we chatted a lot of things that's anti-Levy and all that, and it's coming home. What do you say?
Yeah. I say my butterflies are starting. As a Tottenham fan, I've been so used to expectations rise. So I want to be, I think being a Spurs fan has made me more realistic, but the butterflies are there. So I hope that's a good sign. I don't want to either stay up or wake up and find the coming home has got the map wrong and ended up in a different part of Europe. So, but I have butterflies. I'm not scared we're going to lose, but I have butterflies. I'm anticipating what is to come.
As it gets closer to the game, we will all have that feeling, right? Especially whoever you support, whether you're supporting Italy or whether you're supporting England. It's the same feeling, right?
I was fairly nonplussed until about an hour ago. For some reason, about an hour ago, it just
after you saw the lineups. Yeah. But okay, I just have to tell all those is in the chats and watching the video now, or maybe you watch the video later, right? Please subscribe. Please like the video, right? I always keep missing this part.
And
smash the like and subscribe. And thank you to Wayne. Thank you to Gugoma. Thank you to Emzo, and all the people who has been on the stream today. All right, and we'll catch you the next time. Take care.
We have 4 hours until the big game.
Man. Less than 4 hours.
And we have just over 4 weeks until. Is it 4 weeks? About 4 weeks. 5 weeks until the new season. Let's hope that England coming home can lead to Tottenham finding themselves and onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
And
okay, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you the next time.
England!